pledge would hold tuition flat for 2 years, then limit increases to the rate of inflation the following 2 years. The Board of Regents president says without the state investment, avoiding tuition increases would be difficult.
We have the same inflationary pressures that every other business, every other organization in the country is under right now.
The Board of Regents is scheduled to vote on its budget proposal later this week.
Time's running out for Wisconsin residents affected by severe storms and flooding this past April to apply for federal disaster assistance. There's just 2 weeks now remaining in the timeline.
Homeowners and renters in designated counties may qualify for help with uninsured home damage, personal property losses, or emergency needs tied to the April storms. The Small Business Administration is also accepting applications for physical disaster loans through August 31st. Economic injury disaster loan applications will remain open through March 30th, 2027 for eligible businesses in designated and surrounding counties. FEMA says people who are denied assistance can appeal with 60 days of the date on their decision letter. Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
You can get more information on our website, WTMJ.com.
A Greene County cheese manufacturer has been fined more than $200,000 after pleading guilty to violating the Clean Water Act.
Federal prosecutors say Wisconsin Cheese Group released untreated wastewater from its Monticello plant into the municipal sewer system, disrupting the village's treatment facility 19 times over a 5-month period in 2022. Some releases exceeded the company's permitted pollution limits by more than 1,500%. A judge sentenced the company to 1 year of probation and ordered facility improvements. The company must also work with the Wisconsin DNR on future wastewater permits. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Coming up, an injured Packers tight end says he's ready to go for Week 1.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News time, 3:04.
How do you know if you're truly ready to retire? Hi, I'm Tony Drake, certified financial planner and founder of Drake & Associates right here in Wisconsin. Many people focus on just one number, how much they've saved. But retirement readiness is about much more than a balance in your accounts. It's about having a clear plan for income, investments, taxes, healthcare, and how your money will support the lifestyle you want. Without that coordination, even a large nest egg can run into problems over time. At Drake & Associates, we help families create retirement plans designed to answer the big question: will your income last? Are you taking too much risk? And are there opportunities to reduce taxes along the way? To help you start thinking through those questions, I've created a complimentary retirement toolkit. It includes my book, Get Retirement Ready, and 5 practical guides covering investments, taxes, and retirement income strategies. Call 414-89.
So he said to me, "Boy, oh boy, do you got the boulders." And I said, "You betcha." And he said, "Do you mind if I cherry pick?" And I said, "Feel free. They're all beautiful and they're all granite. Sparkling pinks, blues, and grays from 4 to 36 inches. And they're all priced right because we buy direct from the source nationwide to give you the look you want." Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. Well, if you need flagstone for your new natural patio, Erickson's is the place to find it. We have the largest selection and 15 styles to choose from. And for decorative stone, Erickson's is your best choice. Our decorative stone is trucked in from all over the country. We buy straight from the quarry and cut out the middleman to keep your prices nice and low. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Packers preseason preps continue for week 2 of the preseason against the Broncos this week. And welcome back Tucker Kraft, the tight end, returning to 11-on-11 work around 10 months after tearing the ACL in his right knee.
Now that I've gotten back to team reps, as I continue to accumulate reps, I hope I can continue to rise my game as well, take myself to new heights rather than just return to pre-injury.
Kraft says he's trending towards suiting up for week 1 of the regular season. And again, the Packers continue the preseason Friday in Denver. The Brewers begin the day with a 5-game lead over the Cubs for first place in the NL Central. This after taking 3 of 4 against the Dodgers. Brewers off today, the Cubs at Wrigley taking on crosstown rival Chicago White Sox. And in college football, it's Ohio State, Oregon, Georgia, Notre Dame, and Texas atop the AP preseason top 25.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 3:08.
QC Kinetics helps active people stay active. People like David Boardman, police officer, competitive athlete, and gym owner who trains hard almost every day.
My body's taken a lot of abuse over the years. I've had multiple knee surgeries on both of my knees. I could barely run a mile prior to going to QC Kinetics. Doctors have all told me, hey, you are going to need knee replacements.
But QC Kinetics gave David great news.
We're going to give you the opportunity to have not 1, but 2 healthy knees, and we don't have to cut you open.
And after David's regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics,
since I've gone to them, I run 20-30 miles a week. I really wouldn't be able to do that if it wasn't for QC Kinetics.
From knee pain to Ironman training,
it's a no-brainer.
Now it's your turn. Call QC Kinetics to book your free consultation today.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-667-5559. That's 414-667-5559. 414-667-5559.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, Julia Fellow, and in for John McCure, it's Adam Roberts.
Wow, the way he said your name.
I think we also did a little bit of a down key.
Adam Roberts. Wow.
Well,
John
happy to be
is
here.
in Hilton Head. I am just trying to get these TVs to work. I mean, we've been at State Fair all week, and these they're on from like 2 weeks ago. It's very interesting. All right, 310, technology versus me. Technology always wins.
1-0 Tech.
Let's get right to it.
This is the 3 at 3 on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
And we start, Julia, the 3 at 3 in West Allis. A lot of chaos at the State Fair for the final day of the fair Sunday evening, particularly in the Spin City area. Lots of video captured of punches flying, melee unfolding, several people, too many to count, engaged in these fights that are now the video's spreading across social media. And we've been wondering whether either the State Fair's board or State Fair police, because remember, the State Fairgrounds have their own distinct police activity, their own police department, think like Marquette University or UWM, wondered if they would say anything about this in the 24 hours that have transpired. Well, so far, silence on the end of State Fair's board and the State Fair Police Department. That has not been the case, though, on social media. As I mentioned, the video's spreading like wildfire, and it's now crossing over into the political realm as well. You have gubernatorial candidate, Republican Congressman Tom Tiffany going after Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley over the melees. Quote on X, "This is Milwaukee County under David Crowley. Crime, chaos, at least one officer punched," referring to dispatch audio, referring to an officer being punched in the face. Now, it is important to note, State Fair security does not fall under Crowley's umbrella as county executive. It's specifically written in state statute. They handle things internally, but that hasn't stopped the chime-ins from coming. Even Republican Attorney General candidate Eric Toney saying Josh Kaul, his opponent's silence and refusal to stand up to the anti-police sentiment is making our state less safe. So it's out there. We continue again to await word from State Fair Police on the incidents.
That leads to number 2. The Badger Battleground poll shows Democrat David Crowley leading Republican Tom Tiffany by 4 points in the Wisconsin governor's race, 48 to 44%. The poll, conducted by Platform Communications, surveyed 500 likely general election voters on August 12th and 13th, so just a few days ago, using a bipartisan team of Republican and Democratic strategists. Crowley's lead jumps to 12 points among independents. But with just a 4.4 margin of error, pollsters say this race is still wide open. And number 3, Adam, the Brewers outscored the Dodgers 16-10 in the series this weekend. Now they have a 3-game lead over the Dodgers for the best record in baseball. There are plenty of moments that got them there. Nate Rilling put this together.
Mizorowski ready to work. Kicks and deals. Struck him out swinging. Dropped a slider on Ohtani, and he swung through it. 2 away for Freddie Freeman. Bases remain low. Pitch. Struck him out swinging. Dropped another slider on him, and Mizorowski pumps a fist as he strikes out Ohtani. Then Freeman. A swing and a fly ball hit to left. It's deep. Back Hernandez at the warning track. Leaping. It's gone. And here's a fly ball to left and deep. Hernandez back at the track. Gone. 3-1. Swing and a miss. Throw him a cut fastball at 98. Now that was a nasty cut. Final of the first inning, and Logan Henderson makes his first start at Dodger Stadium. Henderson from the first base side of the rubber, kicks, delivers, and a swing and a miss. Oh, what a nasty changeup. Down and away from Henderson, and Ohtani just casting his bat hopelessly. 1-0 to Bowers, and a liner into left center field. That's going to plug the gap and roll all the way to the wall. Churio around second. He's not stopping at third. Matt Erickson gives him the windmill. Jake Bowers, 4 for 4 today. Chopper towards second base. Edman kicks it, and it's into right field. 2 runs will score. 6-2 victory against the Dodgers, and the Brewers come to L.A. and take 3 of 4. Great series win for Milwaukee, and they can head back home, rest up, and get themselves ready for the Seattle Mariners on Tuesday.
This report is sponsored by Diversified Wealth Strategies. Your life, your goals. Visit dwstrategies.com. By the way, we have Brewers broadcaster Lane Grindle joining us in the next hour. It's 3:14 on WTMJ.
Many people feeling close to retirement ask themselves, do I have enough?
Am I missing something?
At Diversified Wealth Strategies, we provide clarity during our complimentary, no-pressure consultation. We're independent advisors using big firm tools with a boutique-style approach.
And no crickets. We stay in touch so you're never left wondering.
At Diversified Wealth Strategies, let us show you how to capture the upside, limit the downside, and feel good inside.
Visit dwstrategies.com.
Securities and investment services offered through Mosaic Wealth, Inc. Member FINRA SIPC. Mosaic Wealth is separately owned and other entities and/or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Mosaic Wealth.
When I hit my 50s, I felt like things were slowing down.
This is Sandra's Metamucil story.
I started taking Metamucil for digestion, but had no idea it would impact so much more. Not only did Metamucil help me feel more regular, but my heart health saw the benefits too.
Metamucil. One simple routine, 4 health benefits. Digestive health starts here. Go to Metamucil.com for more details.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Are you hosting an event, launching something new, wanting to get the word out about your part of the state? Be a featured guest on the WTMJ Experience Wisconsin show. Share your story, promote your event or business, and connect with fans all across the state. I'm John Mercier. I'd love to interview you. We reach listeners from Milwaukee to Madison, Green Bay to La Crosse, everywhere in between. It's Experience Wisconsin. Ready to shine a spotlight on your business or company? Email me, john@WTMJ.com for more information. john@WTMJ.com.
3:16, traffic and then weather. Debbie Lozica, how are the roads?
We've got big delays along southbound 43, starting at about Good Hope Road all the way down to an accident scene that's just past Capitol Drive. The 2 left lanes are blocked. There's a semi involved. There was also a car involved. Looks like they were able to tow that one away. But just to give you an idea, we've got a 23-minute ride from Brown Deer Road to downtown. It's usually only about 8, so that'll be what we're dealing with right now. Also on southbound 175 to eastbound 94 in the Stadium Interchange. Right lane is blocked with an incident. I don't know if it's a violator, but definitely going to be causing some delays through there. Also an accident westbound 94 at Mitchell Boulevard. That's on the left shoulder right now. Folks are they're able to get past it, but it's still going to be a little bit of a sticky ride. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Partly cloudy tonight with a low of 65. Tomorrow, thunderstorms develop with a high of 82. Wednesday, mostly sunny and comfortable with a high of 75. Thursday, mostly sunny, a high of 75. Friday, mostly sunny, very pleasant, a high of 77. Right now here in Milwaukee, it's mostly sunny and 76 degrees. The president is threatening Oman as it works out a deal with Iran on the Strait of Hormuz. And Kushner is meeting with Netanyahu. We have ABC News correspondent Jordana Miller in Jerusalem. Jordana, what's the very latest with Oman?
Well, the president is threatening Oman, threatening to attack Oman if it gets in the way, as he put it, of the war against Iran. It looks like the president was depending or relying on Oman to already close this deal with Iran to share managing the Strait of Hormuz, right? The Iranians and the Omanis have been talking about this for now more than 2 weeks. We keep hearing they're close to reaching an understanding. They almost have an agreement, but still no final deal, no announcement. And it was believed that the United States was working with Oman to secure control over the southern lanes of the Strait of Hormuz, and Iran would control the northern lanes, and nobody would charge any tolls. But Oman, it looks like, has not been able to close that deal. Maybe they've even changed some of the terms of that deal. They've clearly angered the president, and he's saying, hey, if Oman doesn't, if they get in the way, we'll go after Oman too. We don't really have all the details of what's happening in that back channel, but it's clear that that deal has not been struck yet. And as we know, Iran upped the ante last week by adding a whole group of demands that used to be connected to their willingness to talk about limiting their nuclear weapons program. Now the Iranians are putting all these demands on the U.S. just to reopen the strait, right? To unfreeze billions of dollars of assets, lift sanctions, pay billions in reparations to Iran, lift the U.S. naval blockade, and end the war, P.S., also in Lebanon, also in Gaza, right? These are steep, really, and some would say ludicrous demands connected just to reopening the Strait of Hormuz. The president clearly is not going to play ball with them. So it looks like we are entering a new phase of this war that is focused on economic warfare. The naval blockade plus what the Treasury Secretary said last week will be new sanctions on Iran, economic sanctions that we've never seen before. We'll wait, to see what is announced this week, but, we are far from a deal at this point to end the war.
And on that, you sort of alluded to it at the beginning, Jordana, but Oman, for those who aren't familiar, has traditionally served as this very important third party, this arbiter, a mediator between these two sides, Washington and Tehran. So knowing how important a role this nation and its government has played in sort of those behind-the-scenes talks, does this read to you, and you said there's still some stuff to be determined, but does it read like just negotiating pressure like we've seen in the past from the president in these sorts of areas?
Well, I think the United States has had a ambivalent relationship with Oman. Remember, Oman was not one of the main mediators for the MOU. Pakistan was. And that was a deliberate choice by the U.S. because they, for reasons that we probably don't know the full extent of, the United States did not fully trust Oman as a mediator. And so they relied more heavily on Pakistan and Qatar. Now, Oman came back into the picture because it does geographically, it is part of the Strait of Hormuz. There's those southern lanes are right off of Oman's coast. And, there was this idea that, well, maybe the United States with Oman can negotiate a deal with Iran. And even Iran could sell it to its own people, not as, making major concessions to the U.S. or capitulating to the U.S., but, hey, we made a deal with Oman, and it would be palatable politically for the Iranians. That was one of the creative, thoughts or reasons for Oman and Iran to be talking, and the U.S. role to kind of drop out of sight. But now, it looks like Oman has been unable to close that deal. And there were lots of disputes about whether they would charge fees, what those fees would be. So clearly the president is frustrated, and as is his wont, he's making big threats. We know usually he doesn't follow through with a lot of them, but today, they're in the doghouse, Oman.
And Jared Kushner, who is the son-in-law of the president and Middle East negotiator, that's his title, met with your prime minister, Netanyahu. And that's one day after he had 2-hour talks with Hamas chief. Can you talk about what's going on with the disarmament that they're talking about in Egypt?
So Jared Kushner was here in Jerusalem today. He met with the Israeli prime minister for 3 hours. And sources close to those talks say they were productive. Kushner trying to move forward. He's trying to advance the Board of Peace's 15-point plan for Gaza, which is based on the president's 20-point plan, right? The transition from Gaza being controlled entirely by Hamas to a post-war vision for Gaza, right, with a new technocratic government and new security forces, and a day for Gaza and where Hamas has no role militarily or otherwise. And so Kushner's talks in Cairo, Hamas was there as well as the Egyptians. It was a group meeting, if you will. Kushner, basically relayed the message that Hamas must get serious and start to disarm. That's the only way, he told Hamas and others, that's the only way the Israelis will ever withdraw, right, from Gaza. And then here in Jerusalem, he hammered out some details with the prime minister. We didn't hear in the statements, or really from the sources, any agreement by the Israelis to withdraw yet. But we did hear that there are going to be 2 working groups set up, one that's going to deal with the issue of disarming Hamas and arms that will now be destroyed or taken out of the Gaza Strip and not handed over and left in Gaza. That was a major issue for the Israeli prime minister. And another working group that's going to deal with humanitarian issues. There's a lot of sanitation issues and water issues that have to be dealt with, especially to prevent disease. So that's going to move forward. And I think in general, Kushner was able to move the ball forward a bit here. And that's, it was a big challenge. I think so far it looks like he succeeded.
ABC News correspondent Jordana Miller in Jerusalem, thank you so much.
Thanks. Talk soon.
3:26 on WTMJ.
Bank 5-9 has a mission to make lives better. They make it a priority to give back to their customers, communities, and their employees. In fact, Bank 5-9 was just honored again by the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel as a top workplace. That makes 17 years in a row. Want to learn more about working with the great people at Bank 5-9? Visit bank59.com/careers. That's bank59.com/careers.
Equal Opportunity Employer, member FDIC.
Wet basements and foundation problems? For over 20 years, Accurate has been the Fix-It Show's trusted experts in foundation repair and waterproofing. Whether it's cracked walls, drain tile issues, or water in your basement, they've got you covered. Don't wait until the problem gets worse. Call Accurate Basement Repair today at 414-744-6900 or visit AccurateBasementRepair.com. They're not just good, they're accurate.
Have you been living with pain and just assuming it's something you have to just live with and accept? Do not. I'm Julia Fellow with WTMJ. If chronic pain is keeping you from enjoying life, I want you to head to Jens Family Chiropractic in Germantown. Jens Family Chiropractic is now offering soft wave tissue regeneration therapy. It's an advanced, non-invasive treatment. It helps your body repair itself naturally. I'm getting that done on my lower back. Soft wave stimulates healing, improves blood flow, and activates your own body's repair cells to target pain at its source. If you're dealing with knee pain, shoulder pain, back pain, do not wait another day. For a limited time, your first soft wave treatment is just $57. This is an incredible opportunity to find out if this breakthrough therapy can help you get back to the things you love, like it did for me. Head to jensfamilychiropractic.com. That's YENTZ familychiropractic.com. Regenerate, recover, live pain-free at jensfamilychiropractic.com.
Your financial life is not just about numbers. It is a journey, and Annex Wealth Management aims to help you move through it with clarity. When markets shift, it can be hard to understand what it means for what you have built. Annex offers guidance as a fee-only fiduciary firm, which means their recommendations are built around your best interests rather than commissions or product sales. Annex gives you access to a local team that includes wealth managers, financial planners, investment managers, estate planning attorneys, and client service specialists who work together to create a strategy tailored to your situation. They help clients with investment management, retirement income, planning, tax coordination, estate planning, education funding, and business succession strategies. Annex knows there's different financial plans for different stages of life, and they can help you adjust as things change. With nationwide accessibility, Annex blends personal attention with leading-edge tools to offer an experience built around informed decision-making. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference. Click Get Started at annexwealth.com.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus. I'm Weston. What's your question?
Is this one of those viral pranks?
Beg your pardon?
I think you promote Hasselus Mattresses employee-free showrooms just to lure me in so you can film a practical joke on me to go viral.
Sir, I assure you, we take employee-free mattress shopping very seriously.
What do? Tie me to a bed and spray me with silly string?
We simply let you try our selection of Beautyrest, Sealy Posturepedic, and more without commission-crazy salespeople breathing down your neck.
Good one.
Others sell a Beauty Sleep by Beautyrest Queen Elm Cove A mattress for $1,599, but Hasselus has it for just $794.
Sure you do.
And through Monday, get a free adjustable base with the purchase of a select Sealy Posturepedic or Beautyrest mattress, plus free next-day delivery.
So shopping at Hasselus won't make me TikTok famous?
Absolutely not.
Darn.
Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you or shop online at Hasselus.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Marty's Pizza in Delafield.
Remember, Marty's Pizza.
Right off I-94 and Highway 83 in Delafield.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 3:30. I'm Julia Fellow. Your top story this half hour. New details about a hostage situation in Waukesha.
I'm Adam Roberts. Our first look at the general election for Wisconsin governor.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Still a heavy ride southbound 43 from Good Hope Road all the way past Capitol Drive. 28 minutes to get from Brown Deer Road into downtown. Well, usually it's only an 8-minute ride, so you can just imagine the kind of delays we got there. So that accident that was just south of Capitol Drive is gone. We do have big delays on southbound 894 as well, from the Zoo interchange all the way down and around the Hale interchange to Forest Home. This is a broken down vehicle, but that's not the reason. We've just basically got heavy volume. Right now from the Zoo to the Hale, going to be a 6-minute ride. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Low tonight of 65. Watching for some possible thunderstorm chances tomorrow. We'll have a high of 82. Right now, a comfy 77 in Milwaukee at 331.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, new details on a hostage situation and police shooting at a Meijer store in Waukesha last month.
Police now identify the suspect as 21-year-old Anthony Lehman, who they say held the 59-year-old man hostage while armed with a knife and a clamp tool fitted with 2 razor blades. Police say the victim was trying to defend himself and others when an officer fired at Lehman because of the immediate threat. One round unintentionally struck the victim's hand. The injury is not life-threatening, and the victim has been released from the hospital. Lehman is expected to face several charges this week, including reckless injury, false imprisonment, and terrorist threats. Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
One person dead, another seriously hurt after a head-on crash in Mount Pleasant Sunday afternoon on Spring Street near Borgart Road. Police say a Ford F-150 crossed into oncoming traffic, colliding with a Jeep. Both drivers were trapped inside their vehicles. The driver of the Jeep freed by onlookers, while the driver of the F-150 died at the scene.
Decision Wisconsin. A first look at the race for governor shows a close contest between David Crowley and Tom Tiffany.
A new Badger Battleground poll gives Crowley a 4-point advantage with 48% support compared to 44% for Tiffany. 500 likely general election voters were surveyed through phone call interviews. The poll comes just days after Crowley won a razor-thin Democratic primary and Tiffany secured the Republican nomination. In last week's primary, Wisconsin Democrats cast nearly 800,000 ballots, their highest total for a midterm in more than 20 years. The two candidates are now campaigning ahead of the November 3rd general election. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Iran announcing they're offering a $30,000 bounty to be awarded to an Iranian citizen that kills or captures an American service member. More from News Nation's Robert Sherman.
That bounty would be doubled if it was carried out by a woman, they say, and that all of these proceeds would be coming from the people of Iran themselves. Now, that said, there's no verbal threat that was given as to exactly when or where this would be taking place, but it does play into the messaging that's been coming out of Tehran in preparations for an escalation and moving away from a defensive posture to a more offensive one if diplomacy continues to stall over the coming weeks.
A 60-day ceasefire agreement between the U.S. and Iran expires today, and no peace agreement has been established.
New migration data shows Wisconsin is benefiting from people leaving neighboring Illinois, but the state still faces looming workforce challenges. MMAC senior advisor Tim Sheehy tells Wisconsin's Midday News.
The three states that we exchange population with the most are Illinois and Minnesota, which I understand the proximity, and then this one threw me for a bit, Texas. In that exchange, we gain about 10,000 people a year from Illinois. We gain about 2,800 people from Minnesota.
Sheehy says we have a working age population that is only getting older, expected to shrink over the next decade, and retaining more workers will be critical.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Packers continue practice ahead of their second game of the preseason Friday night in Denver against the Broncos. After analyzing game one of the preseason, Packers head coach Matt LaFleur says competition at cornerback is wide open in Green Bay.
Obviously, it starts with doing your right assignment, and then it comes down to your style of play. How are you competing, going after the ball, not only in the pass game, but in the run game as well? Are you sticking your nose in there? And we need corners that are willing and capable tacklers.
Starting corner Keyshawn Nixon says he welcomes the competition. After taking 3 of 4 against the Dodgers in L.A., the Brewers begin a 6-game homestand Tuesday night. They're off this evening, and they get things going tomorrow against the Seattle Mariners for 3 at American Family Field. And the final game of that homestand played against the Atlanta Braves, but not in Milwaukee. They'll be out in Williamsport, Pennsylvania as part of the MLB Little League Classic in conjunction with the Little League World Series.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News time approaching 3:36, sponsored by Abbey Home. Go to abbyhome.com today.
Abbey Windows.
Have you been thinking about new windows? If you're having a hard time operating them, feeling air coming through, or feel your energy bills are too high, now is the time to call Abbey Home. We're celebrating 16 years in business, so we're having our anniversary sale. Right now, get a free triple pane upgrade on all windows. A free triple pane upgrade on all windows. And if somebody asks you if you know a guy in the business, you can say no, but I know a girl. Go to abbyhome.com today or give us a call, 414-436-ABBY, 414-436-2229.
I'm with Eric, Director of Research for Good Karma Brands. They have business technology from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Eric, what does partner mean to you?
Partner isn't just out for them. The partner cares about how we solve our problems, and it can be a mutually beneficial relationship from there on.
And I understand throughout the more than 15-year partnership between Good Karma Brands and James Imaging Systems, you have shared many core values.
Absolutely. Work hard, be honest, over-deliver, follow through, listen, teamwork.
Eric, summarize your overall business technology partnership with James Imaging Systems for me.
Your dog is more. As we've grown tremendously, you guys have still been able to meet our needs each step of our growth. That's huge.
AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, and digital transformation from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
3:37 on WTMJ. He's a friend of the show, often fills in for John when he's gone on Wisconsin's afternoon news. Telly Hughes. Hey, Telly.
Hey, Julia, how are you?
Hey, I wanted to play something for you because Brewers now have a 3-game lead over the Dodgers for the best record in baseball. And here's Jake Bauers on the series win.
You take 3 out of 4. It feels good, and I think it lets everybody in the clubhouse know that we can play with these guys. Whatever happens in October is whatever happens, but I mean, I think the anticipation is we're going to have to get through these guys. So just for everyone to come in here and see that we can hang with these guys, we can play with them, and if we execute, we can beat them.
You know, I think that's the good thing because the last series, they didn't win over the Dodgers, and they didn't sweep, obviously, but they did a fantastic job holding up against a team that has a budget, 3 times more than the Brewers?
At the very least, Julia, I am actually extremely excited about the Brewers. And recently, I've been traveling. I'm now in Arizona. I was just in Atlanta, and I have appeared on a couple of friends' podcasts. And their first question is, are the Brewers for real this year? Do they have enough to do it? And up until this point, I was very hesitant to say yes, because we have seen this story before. Great regular seasons, and they fall short when it's time to go up against the big boys. But now they have a 3-game lead in terms of the best record in baseball, which means home field advantage. They now own the head-to-head advantage against the Dodgers if they were to meet later in the postseason. And so I have been hesitant because I haven't felt like the pitching has been there. But the way that Logan Henderson and Gasser are complimenting the Miz, I do believe they now have enough to beat the Dodgers. And they just proved that over the weekend.
Well, to follow up on that, Telly, I was very curious. So I have a friend who was out in LA for the game yesterday. You had a guy in Scooble who it was very publicly revealed afterwards. We tried hard to go and we didn't end up getting. He goes up against, as you mentioned, Henderson, and Henderson ruled the day. He definitely was the better of the two. 7 innings, 3 hits, just the 1 run allowed. You're saying the Brewers can go up there against this Dodgers team. Do you think, though, whether it's Henderson or somebody else other than the Miz, who is that X factor in the starting rotation? Has Henderson sort of eked his way over where Kyle Harrison kind of occupied in the first half of the season, given his dip in the second so far?
Adam, great observation, because I do believe that Harrison can step up. But, I mean, again, to have Henderson the way he's been pitching in this second half, I think those are really 2 good options. And now that not getting Scooble is starting to look good because, A, you didn't have to give up a bunch of things to get 2 pieces that you already have in your organization and currently in your rotation. And young pitchers are going to have ups and downs. I mean, because figuring out how to go through lineups 2 and 3 times in an outing is really tough at the big league level, because these guys get paid a lot of money to hit as well. So again, I think that that is pretty common when you're a new pitcher, because hitters are going to figure out some of your tendencies. And with Harrison kind of having, a dip in the second half, that doesn't mean that come postseason, he can't be a factor if it's in the bullpen or in the rotation. But the way that Logan Henderson is pitching right now, I can see why Matt Arnold made him and named him one of the untouchables, because that's who Detroit really wanted in exchange for Scooble. And I mean, you're talking about a guy that's in his second big league season versus a guy that, yes, he's a 2-time Cy Young Award winner, but if I'm not mistaken, he's either 30 or pushing 30. So again, I can see why Matt Arnold said Logan Henderson, can't touch him. We'll talk about anybody else.
I wanted to play this for you because Jacob Mizorowski, the Miz, leads the MLB with 210 strikeouts. This one that I'm about to play at the bottom of the 5th, Brewers lead 4-1. We now have 2 outs. Just struck out Shohei Ohtani with the bases loaded. It gets easier now. Nope. Comes Freddie Freeman. Big Miz, gets Freeman swinging on another slider to strand all 3 runners, then lets out this roar. Here's Jeff on the call.
1-2 on Freddie Freeman. The set, the pitch. Struck him out swinging. Dropped another slider on him, and Mizorowski pumps a fist as he strikes out Ohtani, then Freeman to get out of a bases-loaded jam in the 5th.
Shows that he is so reliable, and why he might be scarier when people think that he's not throwing 105s or 105.5. Yeah. But a lot of people are worried that he might get injured. Is that something that are people Debbie Downers with that, or is that a real thing? He's 23.
I do believe those are people that are Debbie Downers, because if they don't think that the Brewers are tracking his innings, tracking his pitch count, they even track how many pitches he throw in warm-up. And people are really victims of, they're really victims of the moment, because here it is, not even 2 months removed from the All-Star break, really not even a month removed from the All-Star break. And when we came out of the All-Star break, what happened? They held the Miz out to give him extra rest. Right. And at the time, that was such a big deal. Oh my gosh, is he hurt? Is he this? Is he that? It's all a part of the plan. And the Brewers now have a pitcher that they are going to take into the postseason that a lot of swing and misses are going to happen. He's a big, high strikeout guy. And if you notice, he doesn't pitch more than 6 innings.
Right. I think you're with me Thursday. Yes, Thursday on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
Yes.
All right, see you then. 3:45 on WTMJ.
When I hit my 50s, I felt like things were slowing down.
This is Sandra's Metamucil story.
I started taking Metamucil for digestion, but had no idea it would impact so much more. Not only did Metamucil help me feel more regular, but my heart health saw the benefits too.
Metamucil. One simple routine, 4 health benefits. Digestive health starts here. Go to Metamucil.com for more details.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey, John Mercure here for Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin. Quite simply the best in the business. You got a shoulder that's not feeling great. Maybe it's an ankle or a knee. Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin and their top-tier doctors can get you feeling how you deserve to feel. My wife, Michelle, had a back issue. OHOW put her in a great place. She's on the mend. She's feeling better. She's doing all the things that she wants to do. Start at the website, OHOW.com, OHOW.com. Request an appointment. Start your journey to feeling better with the best. Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin.
Have you seen those Russian floating folk dancers that look like they're gliding on air?
Impressive. They kind of resemble the Brody table at Penny Mustard.
You're right.
And these upholstered caster dining chairs look like they're also gliding on air. Here, I'll show you. Be careful.
Watch out!
I never was a very good dancer.
The Brody table, paired with 4 caster dining chairs, starting at $64.22 at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
Hi, I'm Matt Dorner, CEO of Milwaukee Downtown Bid 21. Downtown Employee Appreciation Week is back August 17th through the 21st, with daily giveaways, office challenge games, and much more. It's all designed to boost your team's spirits. Learn how your company can participate at MilwaukeeDowntown.com.
If you missed this,
So crazy. They were up by so much that Jackson Churio, who's a righty, came up to the dish and decided, you know what? I've never done this before. I'm going to try it from the other side.
Jackson Churio batting left-handed, smokes one out to center.
or this,
A little more than 300 people lined up to get a moment with the Miz for a special ball signing. Take a look at my ball.
Ooh, that's really, really
I
sweet.
know.
catch up on the Wisconsin's Afternoon News podcast wherever you stream. Sponsored by Diversified Wealth Strategies.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Veterans benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Brave Americans who served shouldn't be denied benefits or have a disability claim incorrectly evaluated by the VA. If you're one of those vets, call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
348 on WTMJ. Let's get a look at your afternoon drive. Debbie Laziga, how are the roads looking?
Still slow on southbound 43, but doing a bit better. From Silver Spring mainly all the way through the Marquettes, where you're going to see those delays. Westbound 94 backed up right through the stadium interchange to Hawley Road. Eastbound's got backups from Highway F all the way past Barker Road, and then back on the brakes from about 68th Street all the way to 35th. Heavy ride along southbound 894 from the Zoo interchange all the way around the Hale interchange into about the Loomis area. So definitely a heavy ride there. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast just in from Storm Team 4 Chief Meteorologist Brian Niznansky calls for a 66-degree overnight low tonight. Humidity back for your Tuesday, along with a chance for afternoon showers and storms, a high of 82. We clear out Wednesday and Thursday, sunny highs in the low 80s, then down to 75 on Friday with a slight chance for afternoon showers and storms. Right now it's 76 degrees in Milwaukee at 349.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast is brought to you by Infinity Exteriors, your local experts for roofing, siding, and window projects. 349 on WTMJ. We have with us once a month a friend of the show, Eric O'Neill. He's a former FBI investigative specialist, a cybersecurity expert, spy hunter, and best-selling author of Spies, Lies, and Cybercrime. You can get that anywhere books are sold. Eric, thank you for joining us.
Julia, it's always good to be here.
Yes. I want to ask you about how the FBI is investigating possible election fraud in Milwaukee. They interviewed some Milwaukee police officers. So when the FBI investigates allegations of election fraud, when they interview the police officers, are they just trying to glean information that they may have collected on the first days of the investigation?
Yeah. Well, so it's most likely the FBI is looking into fraud, right? Well, election fraud. And so they'd be talking to the police officers to see what they might have known and looking deeper into some of the officials, around the election. So we don't really know what the FBI is doing here. And there have been many criticisms of the FBI that this is inappropriate and that this is a state issue. But the FBI and the Justice Department in general does get to look into election fraud.
Does it raise your eyebrows at all, Eric, that we're talking about an election that happened 6 years ago? Where does it, in your eyes, given your experience, indicate where things could potentially be in terms of an investigation timeline?
Yeah, I'm not sure what the use of looking into an election that happened 6 years ago in 2020 is. It's not like that election will be reversed. Sometimes it's about holding people accountable. The problem is we don't know what the FBI is doing, whether they have hard evidence that some fraud was committed or whether it's a fishing expedition. And so depending on what side you're on, you can be, thumbs up for it or completely against it.
All right, let's now move to a new plan to allow private companies to conduct cyber operations against criminal groups. So that allows them to do that. From the FBI's perspective, though, from your background, what does that actually mean? What role would the Bureau play when private companies are essentially fighting back against cyber criminals?
Yeah, this is pretty fascinating and unprecedented. So the policy has always been to not allow private companies to go after criminal gangs or, with cyber attacks because it can cause chaos. So in order for this to happen correctly, the Justice Department, the Department of Homeland Security, and I suspect CICA will have to work carefully to make sure that it's controlled and then they're not they're not stepping on each other's toes. Because here's what could happen: you have a cybersecurity company, and cybersecurity companies are excellent at threat assessments. That's why I think this is happening. They know where the bad guys are. They're trying to defend their clients from these bad guys, and now we're going to unleash them to go out and take down the servers of criminal gangs. The problem is that often the servers can be compromised by, like, say, Russia in Germany. And now you have a company that goes and takes down a server that might be part of critical infrastructure in Germany, and the Germans get very mad at the U.S.
Oh.
So we have to be pretty careful about how they're doing it, and it has to be very well coordinated. Now, I will tell you, it's not the worst idea in the world. These are the sort of things where the proof will be in how it plays out. We do know that Russia and China, Iran, North Korea, some of the biggest threat actors in cyberspace, have used their criminal gangs to attack us routinely. They work with the intelligence services, and they launch attacks mercilessly against the U.S. and the West. So here, this looks like playing a little bit in that game where we're going to allow our private organizations, who are very good at finding the bad guys, to help shut them down.
Do you wonder of any conflict of interest, too? Anytime you're talking about the hiring of a private company, there's a chance that maybe there was some behind-the-door deal in a past time, whether it was 5, 10, 20 years ago, that also has to be considered as well, no?
Yeah, there could certainly be conflicts of interest. This has to be regulated very closely, and it has to be, the most important part is it has to be coordinated incredibly carefully. Because you don't want, for example, a private company to go in and take down a server, right, on the dark web that the NSA, for example, has been looking at to try to take down a broader criminal gang. So we need to be very careful in what private companies are allowed to do here, and the coordination between government and private.
We have Eric O'Neill on the talk and text line. He is a former FBI investigative specialist, cybersecurity expert, and best-selling author of Spies, Lies, and Cybercrime. So there's new information that just came out with the Nancy Guthrie case, and it may be related, maybe not. There was a body found a few miles from where she was last seen alive. And then over the weekend, Todd Blanche says the FBI is going to provide assistance. What does that mean behind the scenes? What does that actually mean when the FBI agents, what are they doing right now that the public may not see?
Well, right. What Blanche said was that the FBI was not going to take over the case, that they were going to allow it to continue to be handled by local law enforcement, but that they would assist in any way that local law enforcement needed. What it really means is that the case is starting to go very cold. If this is indeed Nancy Guthrie's body, and we don't know that yet, then the case definitely is cold. But it seemed to me that and very sadly, what happened in this case was it was a botched kidnapping. I suspect she died as they tried to kidnap her. She was frail and with a weak heart, and they were savvy enough to hide the body and not reach out to try to get a ransom because they could not provide a sign of life. And the more they communicate, the better chance law enforcement has to catch them.
I wanted to ask you, Eric, about morale behind the scenes, too, for the FBI agents involved with this, because as this case stretches longer and longer, and I know we have cases that can sometimes run cold for years and then new information comes to light, but you still want to get the bad guys in this case. And so I wonder how the morale is of the agents who are on this case that has now stretched to the 7th month.
Oh, certainly. I can remember cases that I worked on for more than 2 years where it turned out that the person we were after was a complete waste of time, and that can really hurt morale. FBI wants to catch their man or woman, right? They want to close the cases, not leave them open and be indeterminable. And here, it looks like the bad guys may have gotten away with it. What I think the FBI is hoping is that eventually somebody, feels that a great wrong has been done and turns one of these people in. Criminals, there is no honor among thieves, and it's certainly possible that someone might snitch, and then we learn who the kidnappers were.
He is a former FBI investigative specialist, cybersecurity expert, spy hunter, and best-selling author. Find It, Spies, Lies, and Cybercrime. Eric O'Neill, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Julie, and thank you, Adam.
Thank you. We'll be right back.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. In 1845, the first clerk of Washington County built a quaint one-room cabin in the Kettle Moraine Forest. In 1933, Ray Wolf, an avid outdoorsman, restored the cabin, built a basement bar, and opened it to fellow equestrians. It became headquarters for many a fox hunt, and the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club was born. And now, when you buy one dinner, your second dinner is free every night, every night. Choice steaks, seafood, ribs, the roast duck. How about the surf and turf? Vegetarian options, any entree, all buy one, get one free. Desserts and ice cream drinks, my favorite part of the meal. Also, buy one, get one free. Wind down with an old-fashioned. Choose from 20 bourbons, more than 120 wines in the rustic bar, and there are 8 unique dining rooms. Experience a spectacular summer drive through the Kettle Moraine to the Fox and Hounds, recently honored as the second most popular supper club in the state by restaurant critic Troy Munson. Near the Holy Hill Shrine, it's the famous Fox and Hounds.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano talking with Dr. Mike Nolte at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Doc, a lot of people are hesitant to visit a surgeon for spine care.
The good news is that the vast majority of patients that I see and the majority of conditions that I can see can be successfully treated without surgery. And I don't want patients to think that just because you're seeing a spine surgeon means that you're going to be signing up for surgery. We talk about in my clinic kind of a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C.
Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. OrthoWisconsin.com.
Academic Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 255368.
Don't settle for a flimsy bank pre-approval. Get the pre-approval listing agents and sellers recognized as better than the rest. The rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval from AccuNet. Get yours by clicking on the blue button at accunet.com.
Tune in Saturdays at 6 a.m. for Legally Speaking with Kirsten Hildebrand. Hildebrand Law. Legal talk without the filler and straight to the point. Miss the show? Catch the Legally Speaking podcast on WTMJ.com.
Trusted, relevant, locally owned, locally programmed. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ Milwaukee.
It is 4 o'clock. I'm Julia Fellow. This is Wisconsin's Afternoon News. Your top story, a deal to freeze tuition.
I'm Adam Roberts. A federal effort to restore gun rights for convicted felons.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, and we do have delays right now. Southbound on 43 coming in from about Silver Spring all the way down through the Marquette interchange. Right now, Brown Deer Road to downtown is up to a 13-minute ride. So that's an extra 4 or 5 minutes onto your normal ride. Just be prepared for that. Westbound 94 tightening up from 35th Street to Hawley Road. Eastbound's going to be slow from about Highway 164 all the way to Brookfield Road. And then back on the brakes from 70th Street all the way to 35th. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Cloudy tonight, a low of 66. Tomorrow, humid and a chance of evening storms, a high of 82. Right now, here in Milwaukee, it is currently 76 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the universities of Wisconsin proposing a 2-year tuition freeze as part of its next state budget request.
For 2 years, we will freeze tuition at current rates. And then for the 2 years following that, we will not increase tuition beyond the rate of inflation.
UW Board of Regents President Kyle Weatherly. The 4-year tuition pledge requires $190 million from the state to help cover operating costs.
In order to make the math work and to make higher education more affordable in the state of Wisconsin, we need help from Wisconsin taxpayers.
The pledge applies to in-state students, prospective or existing. Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
The UW system serves roughly 165,000 students.
Cash bond set at $5,000 for a Milwaukee woman accused of hiding a man charged in a deadly shooting spree.
Elena Cole is charged with 1 felony count of harboring or aiding a felon and 3 misdemeanor counts of child neglect. A judge found probable cause to continue holding Cole after her initial appearance Monday. She pleaded not guilty to the 3 child neglect charges and was ordered to have no contact with her children or the alleged shooter, Thomas Zollicoffer. Cole was ordered to remain sober and placed under supervision if released. Her next court date is next Monday. Nazir Spencer, WTMJ News.
Opening statements are now done. Witnesses being called at the trial of the man accused of orchestrating the murder of Tupac Shakur 30 years ago. News Nation's Nancy Liu.
First witness up after opening, a Metro police officer who was among those who responded to the shooting. Second witness, one of the women who was in the convertible which pulled up to Tupac and Suge Knight's car right before the shooting. Court is in a lunch break right now, but it's going at a pretty fast clip. But we're expecting up to 45 witnesses in this trial.
Dwayne Davis is charged with the murder based upon his statements in a 2019 memoir.
U.S. Attorney General Todd Blanche will be launching a new process to restore federal firearm rights.
The Justice Department on Monday seeking to give some people who lost the ability to carry a firearm from a felony conviction or other circumstance a chance to get their gun rights back, according to a new rule posted on the Federal Register. Federal law disqualifies individuals for possessing a firearm if they are convicted of a crime punishable by imprisonment for a term exceeding 1 year. Those who want to have their gun rights restored must apply directly to the Attorney General, who will review their application and determine whether they get their gun rights back. Luke Barr, ABC News, Washington.
Wisconsin's newest Supreme Court justice says protecting the independence of judiciary will be a major focus on her time on the bench. Justice Chris Taylor was sworn in last week, beginning her 10-year term on the state's highest court.
Today, the judiciary is at a critical juncture. The attacks on the independence of the judiciary and the rule of law, both in the United States and abroad, are the most aggressive I have seen in my lifetime.
Wisconsin's businesses are getting about $350 million.
Wisconsin getting more than $140 million in federal funding for passenger rail upgrades from the Department of Transportation. The award will refurbish up to 41 Charger locomotives used on Amtrak routes in the Midwest and in the Pacific Northwest, including the Hiawatha line between Milwaukee and the city of Chicago. Federal officials say the funding will improve rail safety, address repair backlogs, and modernize service. The Hiawatha will get new train sets to increase capacity. This as ridership on the line continues to grow.
Coming up, promising signs for a Packers tight end.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 4:04.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text SPARK to 215-215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text SPARK to 215-215. That's SPARK to 215-215.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Hi, I'm attorney David Gruber. After an accident, you need a trusted winning team on your side. For more than 30 years, Gruber Law Offices has helped Wisconsin families get the results they deserve. If you've been injured, call our firm today for a free consultation. We're available 24/7. Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. They specialize in caring for those with early to late-stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms, and they offer early memory loss classes to help you. They specialize in this area. It's kindness at the core, locations throughout southeast Wisconsin. It's compassion, it's empathy. It's Wisconsin-based and family-owned, always welcoming people to come tour and welcome their new residents. I've seen their places. They're top-notch. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living.
Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee is setting the stage to rock your socks off. This August, jam out with real rock off. You could win raging prizes to the tune of $300,000. Get in on the jam session by playing with your Potawatomi rewards card for entries. Thursday nights will be a game show battleground for your share of cash and reward play. Real rock off. It's gonna be epic. Only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Looking to build or remodel? Then the 80th MBA Parade of Homes is where your vision begins. Explore 17 extraordinary homes in 2 locations, Quietwood in Menominee Falls and the Snyder Farm in Oconomowoc. Each home showcases premium craftsmanship and design shaped for the way you want to live. Walk through spaces that spark ideas, elevate expectations, and inspire your next chapter. The parade runs August 15th through September 7th. For tickets and locations, visit mbaparadeofhomes.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Welcome back, Tucker Kraft, the Packers tight end, back to 11-on-11 work 10 months around after tearing the ACL in his right knee, and the Packers could use the tight end help.
Now that I've gotten back to team reps, as I continue to accumulate reps, I hope I can continue to rise my game as well, take myself, to new heights rather than just return to pre-injury.
Kraft trending towards suiting up for week 1 of the regular season for the Packers against the Vikings. Green Bay continues the preseason Friday in Denver against the Broncos. The Brewers starting the day with a 5-game lead over the Cubs for first place in the NL Central. Your Milwaukee Brewers with an off day today. The Cubs taking on the White Sox at Wrigley Field later. The Brewers begin a 3-game series with the Mariners tomorrow night at American Family Field. And it's Ohio State, Oregon, Georgia, Notre Dame, and Texas atop the AP preseason college football top 25. Notre Dame will face Wisconsin at Lambeau Field to begin the season in September. You'll hear that game here on your new home of the Badgers, WTMJ.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 4:09.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Real pricing, premium quality, no games. Shopping for new windows and doors shouldn't feel like a negotiation, and it definitely shouldn't feel like a game. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin believes in straightforward pricing, honest conversations, and helping homeowners find the right fit for their home. Because a fair final price matters more than some flashy discount. Pella never inflates pricing, and there's no high-pressure sales pitch. Just premium windows and doors built for long-term comfort, beauty, and peace of mind. And when you buy direct through Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, one trusted team handles everything from start to finish. The same company that manufactures your windows and doors is also the one selling, installing, and servicing them with Pella certified installers every step of the way. That means confidence in the process, confidence in the product, and one team standing behind the work from beginning to end. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Real pricing, premium quality, no games. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air. Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, Julia Fellow. And in for John McCure, it's Adam Roberts.
All right. We have with us our pet of the month. And it's now brought to you by our friends at the Hounds and Tap, offering top-tier dog daycare, boarding, grooming services, indoor-outdoor dog park and tavern, a place for dogs and dog lovers. Unlike anything else in Wisconsin, visit thehoundsandtaps.com to get started. So I'm super excited about this. This means that we'll always have a pet of the month. And we have in with us, Mamba. Yeah.
Yeah,
and
not a hound.
Yeah. Jennifer Smea with Humane Animal Welfare Society. I really appreciate you joining us. I just love this. Don't you love that Hounds and Tap is sponsoring
I
this?
do. They have hosted our Life Skills for Puppy class and a number of our mobile adoption events. So we are so excited that they're sponsoring this because they are really good friends of ours. We appreciate them so much.
Yeah, and there's the expo center and your facilities right across from there in Waukesha. So John was just there and he goes, guess what I saw? I saw Haas before he went on his trip. There's something very, very special about today and black cats, which is why we have Mamba.
Yes, today, unbeknownst to me until about 6 hours ago, it is National Black Cat Appreciation Day. This is different from National Black Cat Day, which is closer to Halloween for obvious reasons. This is Appreciation Day, so this is to shed a light on the plight of black cats that don't get adopted as quickly in shelters as other cats do.
Okay, so if you text HAWS, H-A-W-S, to 855-616-1620, H-A-W-S, to our setting limit talk and text line, 855-616-1620, it'll take you right to Mamba's adoption page. Adam, how is she in your arms?
Well, she's a little squirrely with me. I am, if you can't tell, a dog dad. So it's a little bit different holding a corgi in my arms than it is holding little Mamba here. Tell us a little more about her personality.
She is surprisingly super friendly, super social from the get-go. She was a former stray. Our community cat coordinator, who is the person on our staff who goes up and helps people with trap, neuter, return, she trapped her. Mamba got into the carrier with no problems. And she came back to the shelter, and we didn't know if she was going to be ready to be a house cat or what she was going to want to do. She's been social, a lap sitter, has been having the time of her life with our volunteers. So she has turned into just the sweetest cat, and we think she is going to be somebody's fantastic pet. Probably going to love hanging out in a sunny window, maybe a little bit of play. She likes treats, so who knows? You might be able to do some training.
She's got a bunch of them over here. I got to get my free hand.
She has green eyes, and her tail's moving all over the place. And Adam's been wrangling her, and she's just like a little lump. Like, she's happy with it. Like, she's a relaxed cat.
Yes, she is very chill. When I was talking to one of the cat cuddlers today before I got her, he was sitting in one of the rooms with her, and she was just sitting on the bench next to him, just purring away. He's chit-chatting with her. He's kind of going back and forth reading his book. I don't know if he was reading his book to her, but just kind of chit-chatting back and forth with her, and she was just loving just hanging out and having the time of her life. So she's going to be a wonderful companion in a home.
So we're also trying to find her babies that are still out there.
Right. Like I said, our community cat coordinator is the one who helps with the trap, neuter, return, or trap, neuter, adopt. And we know she has recently had kittens, so we are working on getting them also into the shelter. Her kittens are pretty wily. They know when to hide, unfortunately, so getting them has been a little bit of a challenge. But Rachel's keeping at it, and she's going to have them in no time. Mama certainly doesn't seem to miss them all that much, though. I think she's appreciating having her me time now.
And how's yours? How are the dogs doing?
We are doing great. We have a lot of dogs, a lot of selection of dogs and cats. And in honor of it being Clear the Shelter time, it's kind of a national thing in August. In honor of that, we are doing a special for all cats and dogs and puppies and kittens where we are only doing a $50 adoption fee. We had an extremely generous donor put up the funds so that we could offer all of the pets for $50.
Oh, that's a big deal.
So
some of the dogs are more than $100.
Exactly. So, and that, the $50 includes all the things that normally would: the spay neuter, the vaccinations, the microchip. We still do any kind of resources. If you need to do some consulting with our consultants after adoption, we're available. So that, just because it's a $50 adoption doesn't mean you get any less. You're still getting all the things. Just we have this donor who wanted to help us clear our shelter this month.
That is so wonderful. Jennifer Smea is with Haws. Text Haws, Haws, okay? Or go to hawspets.org. But if you want to learn more about Mamba specifically, head to 855-616-1620. Put in Haws, Haws, and then I'll take you right to Mamba's adoption page. Jennifer, thank you.
Thank you.
It's 4:15 on WTMJ.
4 years ago, I opened a doggy dream space unlike anything in Wisconsin. A place that offers it all: daycare, boarding, grooming, and a one-of-a-kind indoor-outdoor dog park and tavern. A hangout as fun for humans as it is for hounds. I'm Leah, proud owner of the Hounds and Tap in Menominee Falls. Our love, passion, and commitment to dogs and the community are at the core of everything we do. From our incredible staff to top-tier services, we've built something truly special at the Hounds and Tap. Come see for yourself. Visit the Hounds and Tap in Menominee Falls today.
WTMJ's Julia Fellow here for Sweet Talks Medical Spa in Menominee Falls. This is the one thing I love to do. I love to get Botox, Dysport. It's a little bit cheaper, and it lasts longer in my face. Is it like a filler? No. All it does is just kind of freeze a little bit of part of your face. Not completely. You don't have to worry about it. You can still move your face, but it stops the wrinkles from forming on your face, and that's the best part of it. Also gives you a little bit of a lift. I call it my little eyebrow lift that I get just for a few months. Yeah, Adam, you'd like it too. And also you can keep your poker face because people don't know what you're really thinking. So it's really nice. I also get advanced skin treatments there. I get my Hydro Diamond Glow Facial. They have a brand new machine and wellness services where I go to nurse practitioner Angie. She's a Navy veteran. She gives me the IV therapy, and it's making me feel like myself again. You can learn more, book an appointment at sweettalks.com. That's sweettalks.com. Beautiful building that they own on a wonderful plot of land in Menominee Falls. It's all pink inside, too. You're going to be so tickled. Head to sweettalks.com.
Notifications, texts, emails, information coming at you all day, every day. With so much noise, knowing what deserves your attention can feel overwhelming. So it's no surprise that many Americans feel less confident about their retirement finances and stressed about their investments. Turn down the noise. Turn up the planning. Put Annex Wealth Management on your side for trusted investment and retirement guidance, including tax and estate planning. Visit annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guest, J.D. Griffith's Garage Door. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Traffic is sponsored by St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores. Highway 100 and Layton Avenue in Greenfield. 23rd and Lincoln and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee. Great bargains and a great cause. You're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
418 traffic and then weather. Debbie Lazica, how are the roads?
Backups on southbound 41 starting around Good Hope Road down past Appleton Avenue. On the northbound side, slowing from Capitol Drive up past Hampton. Southbound 894, a heavy ride from the Zoo Interchange all the way down through the Hale Interchange to about Forest Home. We've also got westbound 94 backing up from 35th Street all the way to Hawley Road, a little bit more right past Sunny Slope Road. On the eastbound side, still heavy from Highway F to Barker Road, and then again from 70th Street to 35th. I'm Debbie Lazica with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast as I fumble for the papers.
Well,
here.
I couldn't even find my paper, so I appreciate it.
You bet. Low of 65 tonight from Storm Team 4 Chief Meteorologist Brian Niznansky. We'll watch for thunderstorms tomorrow, a high of 82. About a 50-50 shot we see rain tomorrow. Then comfortable again on Wednesday and Thursday. Highs in the upper 70s to around 80 and sunny. Next chance for rain then coming late on Friday with a high of 77 degrees. Right now in Milwaukee, sunny and 77 at 419.
Every month, we talk to our favorite Milwaukee police lieutenant, Efrain Cornejo. Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
There's a lot that's been going on.
Yeah.
Adam, do you want to talk? I only saw a couple of clips of this. Did you want to talk about what happened?
So, yeah, we're getting new information this afternoon about what happened over at State Fair Park late on Sunday night. We now know 7 arrests were made in the situation where you had dozens, if not hundreds, of people fighting each other in the very late hours. This is near Spin City, the amusement area of the park. Now, obviously, MPD, this is not Milwaukee's jurisdiction. State Fair, as we mentioned in the 3 o'clock hour, has their own private police department. Think like Marquette University has Marquette PD. But, Cornelia, when I thought about this, I thought of the street takeovers that we see a lot of times, not just in Milwaukee, but other jurisdictions around the area. When you have something like that that unfolds and can happen so quickly, how important is it that everyone is on the same page and we're attacking this head on, and that we can't wait for this to unfold into something big like we saw last night?
Yeah, definitely. You know, it's very important to have, you know, your resources available. I know there were numerous resources. I'm pretty sure we still had officers out there helping as well. But that's the importance of it, is being prepared, having enough resources, and if you don't, coming up with a plan to be able to address the situation.
So the teen takeovers were really hot for a few months. Did that dissipate? Did the teen takeovers stop here in Milwaukee?
So they're still, you know, we still monitor a lot of stuff to try to get ahead of the game, per se, on some of these teen takeovers. We haven't seen as many. However, there's always chatter still. So, you know, we're monitoring, we're aware, and we're prepared to try to respond. But unfortunately, as you can tell, sometimes they just unfold out of nowhere. And that's what the challenge could be with this, because information travels so fast through social media now, and, you know, obviously cell phones, that it does cause, you know, it is challenging.
And to vet things, if it's real or not.
Absolutely. Lieutenant Efren Corneo with us on Wisconsin's Afternoon News. I wanted to get an update on this. So a couple of weeks ago, news came out MPD is considering or is in the very early stages of acquiring the old Dukes on Water space. This is on Water Street. I believe the cross streets are Juneau and Water. There's the Sushi Bay restaurant that's across the way. This was first reported 2 weeks ago, very early in the process at that point, wondering where we stand on what that could potentially look like. We, of course, have seen Water Street has had its own issues over not just this year, but several years before. It seems like this could be a way for MPD to have that physical presence right there downtown. Where do things stand on that purchase?
Yeah, we're still in the planning process with the owners of that building, but you best believe that if there's something that does come out of that, we will be holding probably a press event to announce what that would look like. Again, just still in the planning process.
There's also been a lot of shootings. There were 3 separate shootings in Milwaukee yesterday alone, and it left 3 people wounded. Nobody killed, thank God. But how has it been this summer overall?
Overall, shootings are still down. I actually just received earlier today a request from a different outlet speaking about just what the trend that we've been seeing and stuff. So that's a good thing. However, it's not a good thing when we have a couple of them on a weekend, right? We have several shootings. I think this weekend, most of them happened on Sunday, yesterday. The other days were kind of quiet, and unfortunately, I could tell you that we're at a scene right now for a shooting scene as well. I don't have enough information on it right now, but we're there. They happen. We need people to help us. We need people to help us when they know the individuals that are involved with guns that illegally have them and are involved in violent crime.
That makes things so much more dangerous for all of us. We're so glad that you are keeping us safe. He is Lieutenant Efren Cornejo. Thank you for joining us every month. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
is your hand okay?
My hand is okay. I got a little, what is it?
Tendonitis?
Yes.
Okay. All right. We're good. I didn't know if I had to beat up someone or what I had to do for you.
Appreciate it.
It's 424 on WTMJ.
Networks, streaming services, retail chains, and tech giants are all adding plus to their names. But where did the concept originate? We may be biased, but we think these big wigs found their inspiration for plus at Hasseless Mattress. Hasseless showrooms are employee-free. Give your mattress a try with no pushy sales guy. Plus, our 35 beds from the top 5 brands start at $293. Plus, unbeatable prices on Tempur-Pedic. Plus, free next-day delivery and setup. Plus, free haul away and disposal of your old mattress. Plus, 60-month interest-free financing on select Tempur-Pedic with approved credit. Plus, a $300 MasterCard gift card with your Tempur-Pedic mattress. Plus, a ruggedly handsome spokesman with a smooth radio voice. Get all this, plus a whole lot more when you shop at Hasseless Mattress. Or maybe we should change our name to Hasseless Plus. Nah. Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you or shop online at Hasseless.com.
Get your final August plans in for Brewers Rangers Action Friday, August 28th through Sunday the 30th. Starting with the Cole Swindell post-game concert at Country Music Night on Friday, featuring a belt buckle with a special ticket. Then it's Jackson Churio Mania. Get the Churio Bowl giveaway Saturday, courtesy of 620 WTMJ. And get it on the Final Kids Cheer Free Sunday before summer ends. Kids get a Churio Height poster on Sunday, courtesy of Joy. Get tickets for it all at Brewers.com.
Wet basements and foundation problems? For over 20 years, Accurate has been the Fix-It Show's trusted experts in foundation repair and waterproofing. Whether it's cracked walls, drain tile issues, or water in your basement, they've got you covered. Don't wait until the problem gets worse. Call Accurate Basement Repair today at 414-744-6900 or visit AccurateBasementRepair.com. They're not just good, they're accurate.
WTMJ's Julia Fellow here for Jens Family Chiropractic in Germantown. I go and see Dr. Carl Jens twice a week. He has rejuvenated myself. Okay, so my back was so bad I almost went to urgent care in May. All right? I could not even stand upright. When I was sitting down, it took me probably about 5 minutes for me to feel like I could sit straight up again. It was because I had terrible, terrible pains going down into my L5 and my sacrum. So he took care of that with soft wave tissue regeneration therapy. It's an advanced, non-invasive treatment, next generation, brand new. It helps your body repair itself naturally. Soft wave stimulates healing, improves blood flow, activates your body's own repair cells, stem cells, to target pain at its source and make you feel better. So, for a limited time, your first Softwave treatment is just $57. It's an incredible opportunity to find out if this breakthrough therapy can help get you back doing the things you love, like it did for me. So I get adjustments every month and every week in my Softwave. Appointments are filling quickly, so head to jensfamilychiropractic.com. YENTZ familychiropractic.com. Regenerate, recover, live pain-free. Book now at jensfamilychiropractic.com.
Bring us your problems, deadlines, complexities, anxieties, distractions, and budget distresses.
Plum Media is listening.
Share with us your creative block.
Plum Media is ready.
Give us your audience with limited time and attention.
Plum Media sets your message free.
Let's get your message heard. Let's strive for retention from beginning to completion. Whether your next event is for celebration, education, motivation, inspiration, Plum Media is waiting to take action.
Professional collaborators, planners, managers. Plum Media, video production and event management.
Plum Media, wow moments, flawless execution, clarity, calm, control.
And results.
Plum Media, a video, meetings, and event producer with global experience. PlumMedia.com.
Time now for news about your money, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. It was a day of losses on Wall Street. Nothing major, but the Dow and the S&P were off about 0.5% on the day. The Dow off 272 points at 53,460. The S&P 500 finishing the day at 7,745. The Nasdaq, meanwhile, was off 0.3%, down 84 to finish at 26,645 on the day. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
Do you hear that?
Is that circus music?
Ladies and gentlemen, behold, the eighth wonder of the world.
What are you doing?
Step right up and see the magnificent Beck sofa at Penny Mustard.
The Beck sofa is pretty awesome, but why are you acting like a carnival barker?
Ever seen a little car at the circus?
You mean a clown car?
With clowns that keep climbing out one after another?
I don't know how they do that.
Exactly. The Beck's sofa is Penny Mustard's clown car.
How so?
The Beck's appears to be a petite, apartment-sized sofa.
Yeah.
And yet, it comfortably seats several people, one after another.
That's why the Beck's is so popular. It fits in tiny spaces.
But it can hold contortionists, lion tamers, and the ringmaster, too.
Step right up and see the Beck sofa, starting at $19.77 at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
Better versions of what people want.
Penny Mustard Furnishing.
Traffic is sponsored by the amazing Mineshaft Restaurant in downtown Hartford.
The Mineshaft Restaurant in Hartford needs line cooks and dishwashers. You'll make real money. Parents and grandparents, tell your kids. Contact the Mineshaft today and start next week.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It is 4:30. I'm Julia Fellow. Your top story: a violent end to the Wisconsin State Fair.
I'm Adam Roberts. A partial solution to Wisconsin's looming workforce challenge.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, and starting off of the freeway, we have a crash on Highway 18 at Glenview Avenue. This is like the 84th Street area. They may have to close off a lane, so just be extra careful heading through there. Westbound 94 backing up from about 27th Street all the way to Hawley Road. Eastbound still slow from Highway 16 all the way past Barker Road. Back on the brakes from 70th Street to 35th. Southbound 43 going to be a slow ride from Capitol Drive all the way down to Lincoln. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Love seeing your dog in the back, Deb. That's amazing. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 66. Tomorrow, partly cloudy and humid. There's a chance of evening showers and storms, a high of 82. Right now here in Milwaukee, it's mostly sunny and 77 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the Wisconsin State Fair concludes with fights and arrests near the rides.
7 people were arrested on Sunday night after multiple fights broke out in the Spin City area. Video on social media showing police officers chase after people as they tried to clear the area. Wisconsin State Fair Park confirms one officer was struck but was not seriously hurt. They also confirmed there were no gunshots fired, contrary to rumors circulating on social media. No fairgoers were hurt, and the fights were isolated to the final hours of the fair on Sunday. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Developing story on Milwaukee's South Side. Police on scene of a deadly shooting. This happening this afternoon near 10th and Lapham. There's no information about any suspects in custody. We'll have more details as they become available on WTMJ.
Decision Wisconsin. The first look at the race for governor shows a close contest between David Crowley and Tom Tiffany.
A new Badger Battleground poll gives Crowley a 4-point advantage with 48% support compared to 44% for Tiffany. 500 likely general election voters were surveyed through phone call interviews. The poll comes just days after Crowley won a razor-thin Democratic primary and Tiffany secured the Republican nomination. In last week's primary, Wisconsin Democrats cast nearly 800,000 ballots, their highest total for a midterm in more than 20 years. The two candidates are now campaigning ahead of the November 3rd general election. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
White House attorneys file an order to resume construction on President Donald Trump's White House ballroom project. The project in limbo after federal judges put a stop to it. The president earlier today criticizing those who are not in favor of the project.
The people that are opposing the ballroom are people that, in my opinion, are very disloyal to our country, very, very disloyal to our country. And I think we're doing very well. We're way ahead of schedule.
Other attorneys say the project is, quote, too far gone to stop it completely.
New migration data suggests Milwaukee is attracting people from Chicago, but Wisconsin continues to face concerns about having enough workers in the years ahead. Here's MMAC Senior Advisor Tim Sheehy.
What Wisconsin has going for it, actually, is that 71% of the people that were born here are in Wisconsin, and that's way above the national average of about 41%. So we kind of keep our homegrown to a great extent.
Sheehy says the challenge now is attracting more newcomers as Wisconsin's working age population is projected to decline over the next decade.
The I-94 West leg moving into its next construction phase with eastbound traffic dropping from 3 lanes to 2.
This lane reduction runs between 70th Street and General Mitchell Boulevard. Wisconsin DOT's Eric Hansen says the space will be used for the next piece of construction.
This closure is scheduled to remain through later this fall, and this will give us a work zone to place permanent concrete pavement for the future eastbound lanes.
No worries so far for the folks headed in the other direction.
For I-94 westbound through the corridor, that traffic will remain in its current configuration.
Debbie Loziga, WTMJ News.
The Shorewood Mesmer Dominican Football Co-op will stay at the JV level for another season.
The 3 schools have struggled with player numbers in recent years. Shorewood and Mesmer, or better known as Meswood, ended their 2024 varsity season early over safety concerns, while Dominican forfeited 5 games that season after forfeiting its entire varsity season in 2022. The co-op added Dominican in 2025. Shorewood officials say they've recruited an experienced coaching staff and believe JV football is best for the co-op's player development. The schools remain committed to the program and hope to field the varsity team in the 2027-28 school year. Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. It's an open competition at cornerback for your Green Bay Packers. Corner Keyshawn Nixon believes he's being punished with backup reps, though head coach Matt LaFleur says competition wide open.
Obviously, it starts with doing your right assignment, and then it comes down to your style of play. How are you competing, going after the ball, not only in the pass game, but in the run game as well? Are you sticking your nose in there? And we need corners that are willing and capable tacklers.
Packers continue the preseason Friday night in Denver against the Broncos. And after taking 3 of 4 against the Dodgers in L.A., the Brewers an off date today. They'll start a 6-game homestand tomorrow night at American Family Field against the Mariners.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 4:36.
When I hit my 50s, I felt like things were slowing down.
This is Sandra's Metamucil story.
I started taking Metamucil for digestion, but had no idea it would impact so much more. Not only did Metamucil help me feel more regular, but my heart health saw the benefits too.
Metamucil, One simple routine, 4 health benefits. Digestive health starts here. Go to Metamucil.com for more details.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
4:37 on WTMJ. So happy to have Brewers play-by-play broadcaster with us, Lane Grindle. Lane, my goodness, what a great outing for the Brewers in L.A.
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, that was exactly what the Brewers needed after a tough series in San Diego, where honestly they could have won 2 of those 3 games that they dropped in that series in San Diego. So to kind of pick themselves up off the mat and then go get 3 out of 4 in L.A., you couldn't have asked for much more than that. It ends up being a nice road trip when it was all said and done, and it sets up a great homestand here coming back.
So looking at the finale, of that Dodgers-Brewers series, Lane, you have a guy like Tarek Skubal on the mound. I think a lot of people were curious as we potentially look in the way-to-head machine at a possible Brewers-Dodgers playoff matchup. That's a guy who you know is going to be trotted out there for 1, maybe 2 if a series goes 7. The numbers are what the numbers are. The Brewers put up 6 runs in total on the day, but I'm curious from your perspective in the booth, how did it seem like the bats were faring, whether it's from exit velocity on the baseball against Skubal or other things that maybe don't line up in the stat sheet per se?
Well, I think the key for the Brewers, and this is what had helped them get to Skubal for 4 runs in Detroit in April when they faced him back then as well, is that the Brewers are really good at seeing a lot of pitches. I mean, the Brewers get deep into counts, they work counts, and when they are in that mode, they can really be challenging for opposing pitchers. Now, the Brewers kind of came out in the other way early against Skubal. They were attacking early, a lot of first pitch swings the first time through the lineup. I think 7 of the 9 swung at the first pitch the first time through the lineup, which is maybe not exactly what you would have expected from the Brewers. So I think their game plan was to go in there and be aggressive against him, but then they still were able to elevate the pitch count in a couple of innings. He had the longest inning of his season in the second inning when they got to him, and he threw 33 pitches in that inning. So I think he had another 28-pitch inning in the 5th inning as well. So the Brewers just did a good job, approach 1 through 9, getting into those at-bats, getting deep into the counts when they could, and just being a nuisance, frankly, to Tarek Skubal. You know, the Brewers are going to have to win games without always hitting home runs. They are last in Major League Baseball in home runs. And so you look at what they do well, and that is they collect a lot of hits, they get on base, they create a lot of traffic. So as long as they're hitting with runners in scoring position, it's still a really good offense. And they put a lot of pressure on the defense yesterday, and the Dodgers defense didn't perform great yesterday, frankly.
And then as far as Brewers pitching goes, how high is Logan Henderson's stock right now? The 24-year-old went toe-to-toe and won the battle with Skubal yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, most of the speculation was that the Tigers said, if we're going to trade Tarek Skubal to you, Logan Henderson has to be in the deal, or we'd strongly prefer it, and the Brewers balked at that. And I think we got a great understanding of why yesterday. I mean, he has been not just great, but he's been a model of consistency all season long and throughout his career and the handful of starts he made last year as well. I mean, the guy is going to give up 3 or less runs every time you hand him the ball. That's a great luxury to have if you're Pat Murphy and the Brewers. Not that you can count on that, not that it's a given, but it has been in terms of over the course of his 16 starts. That's the way it's looked for Logan Henderson. So, look, it's fastball command. The fastball plays up. When he's spotting that and getting ahead early, the changeup is such a good swing and miss pitch. And then that cutter has been a good third pitch for him, too, to keep hitters honest. So if you can keep Logan Henderson healthy, and if you can get Kyle Harrison to be the guy that he was in the first half of the season, and if Dustin May looks like he's looked with the Brewers so far in his 2 starts, boy, the Brewers have some depth in that rotation going into a postseason series.
And what a great call you had yesterday. Jake Bauers goes 4 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Here it is.
Here's the 1-0 to Bowers, and a liner into left center field. That's going to plug the gap and roll all the way to the wall. Chourio around second. He's not stopping at third. Matt Erickson gives him the windmill, and the Brewers played a huge insurance run here in the 7th inning on an RBI double from Jake Bowers. 4 for 4 today for the Southern California native.
Boy, he did a great job.
Yeah, it's all against left-handed pitching, too, which I think is of note. You know, Jake was a guy that most people would have said was a platoon guy coming into the year, meaning that you'd only play him against right-handed pitching, and his opportunities against lefties would be limited. But because of the Andrew Vaughn injury and the Jackson Chourio injury early, the Brewers had to play him against lefties out of necessity, and he showed that he could do it. And Pat Murphy always says the way you get better against hitting left on left is to actually do it, to be in there, to see left-handed pitching. And that happened for Jake, and he's actually got better numbers against lefties this year than he does righties, depending on how you kind of carve up the numbers. So it's a huge development for the Brewers. What a career year that Jake's having, and he's a big reason why the Brewers have the best record in baseball.
So looking ahead now, Lane, we've got the homestand starting tomorrow, off day today, 3 against the Mariners and then 3 against the Braves, though that last home game, quote unquote, is going to be on the road in Pennsylvania, the Little League Classic in Williamsport. Not quite the dream scenario because Whitefish Bay Little League unfortunately fell a game short of heading to the Classic, or heading to Williamsport rather. But I'm curious from your perspective and Jeff, Josh, and Kent's, logistically, when you have a park that seats 2,500 people, it's going to be all little leaguers and their parents in there. What challenges does that sort of stadium setup present for you and the broadcast team?
Well, I think the atmosphere is going to be amazing. I mean, it'll be really cool. That part I'm going to be really into. I'm going to dig that part. But, the facilities will be a little tight. Jeff and I will be very comfortable with each other, I think, probably on Sunday night when we're broadcasting that game. And I think Kent's going to have to work on his stamina standing because I'm not sure there's a place for him to sit in our booth. From
stool.
What we understand, it's going to be pretty tight. But we're all a big family, so it'll be fine. We'll all enjoy it, and it's unique. It's a one-off to be able to do these types of cool experiences like Major League Baseball's introduced over the last 5 or 6 years. I think it's wonderful. I'm glad the Brewers are in this game. I hope they get to be in the Field of Dreams game in the future as well. American Family Field's the closest ballpark to Dyersville, so this is me lobbying for one of those future years to see the Brewers in that Field of Dreams game, because as an Iowa kid, I would just love to be able to go to that. So I think these showcases are awesome, and I can't wait for it.
Brewers play-by-play broadcaster Lane Grindle, thank you so much for your time on your day off. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
4:44 on WTMJ. We have your traffic and weather, and then we have the president of the Bucks and Fiserv Forum, Josh Gessling, next.
Struggling to provide for your family is a real thing, like having to choose between feeding them a warm meal or paying the utility bill. These are the choices many Milwaukee residents are faced with, which is why they turn to St. Vincent de Paul Society's meal program for help. Our meal program has been a consistent resource for those in need for over 42 years. Nutritious meals, warm showers, and clean clothes, all in a safe, family-friendly environment. Our mission is clear, and that's to help you break the cycle of poverty by connecting you with life-changing community and educational resources. Last year, we provided $2.2 million in goods and services, plus 57,000 warm meals. If you or anyone you know needs a warm evening meal, you can find us at Harambe Kitchen 5 nights a week on the northeast side of Milwaukee in the basement of All People's Church. And at Crossroads Kitchen on the south side of Milwaukee 6 nights a week on 9th and Madison. As always, we're grateful for community members and volunteers who help us help you. To learn more, visit svdpmilw.org.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. Hey, reminder, it is summer storm season, and weather damage can be a real issue at the house. So if you think you've got a problem, remember, Tri-County Contracting gives free estimates on any potential wind or hail damage. And here's the best part, they can always work directly with your insurance. It's Tri-County Contracting, WI.com. Love your home again, even during the storm season, with Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
Hi,
Hi, I'm Kirsten Hildebrand of Hildebrand Law Firm. Since 2001, we've proudly helped Milwaukee families and business owners protect what matters most. We combine the experience of a larger law firm with the personal attention you deserve. We take the time to listen, explain your options, and create a plan that's right for you. When the stakes are high, you need trusted legal advocates who will stand by your side every step of the way. Protect your family, your legacy, and your peace of mind. Visit hildebrandlawfirm.net to schedule a consultation today.
John Mercure here for Connect Chiropractic. Life today can keep us stuck in stress mode. Headaches, poor sleep, constant tension, feeling worn down. At Connect Chiropractic, the focus isn't just masking symptoms, it's finding the root cause, helping your nervous system function the way it was designed so your body can heal, adapt, and perform at its best. If you deal with headaches, sleep struggles, or neck and back pain from long days at a desk, take a closer look. Start with a first visit at Connect Chiropractic. It includes advanced scans, digital x-rays, helping uncover what's really going on. Connect Chiropractic.
Traffic is sponsored by Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee. Design Exchange is where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
447 on WTMJ. Let's get a look at your afternoon drive. Debbie, how are the roads?
Eastbound 94 is going to be backed up from 164 all the way past Barker Road, back on the brakes from 70th all the way to 35th. Right now, from Highway 16 to the Zoo, you're looking at about 11 minutes, and then from the Zoo into downtown, another 7. So it's about an extra 6 minutes onto your normal ride for the whole stretch. Westbound 94 is slow from 27th Street to Hawley Road and a little bit right just west of Highway 100 to about Elm Grove Road. Southbound 43, a hefty ride there from Capitol Drive all the way down to Lincoln, and a couple other pockets of heavy traffic south of Chase. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Well, hope you enjoyed the nice dip in humidity today. Storm Team 4 Chief Meteorologist Brian Niznansky says it's coming back tomorrow. Lows tonight in the 60s, and we're back up to around 82. There's also a 50-50 shot at some showers and thunderstorms tomorrow. Then a little bit more comfortable Wednesday and Thursday. Sunny highs in the upper 70s. Then by the time we get to Friday, it looks like another slight chance for rain with highs around 75 degrees. Right now in Milwaukee, partly sunny and 77 at 448.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast is brought to you by Infinity Exteriors, your local experts for roofing, siding, and window projects. I'm excited.
You're always excited.
Well, October is just around the corner, Adam. I'm getting excited. I'm getting excited for my Halloween outfit and also for the Brewers that are October bound. And we have our Milwaukee Bucks. And we have with us on VMix, Josh Glessing. He's the president of the Milwaukee Bucks and Fiserv Forum. What's behind you? Is this your office?
This is my office.
Oh, wow. Very nice.
I can't tell what you can see, but this is where I call home.
It's very big and spacious. Wow, very
so
nice.
I like to stretch out a little bit. I work on my golf swing in here.
Oh, I love it. Oh, I can see
wow.
it. He's got his 9-iron out.
They won't.
Fantastic.
The people outside definitely see me.
They're like, what are you doing?
There's a lot of glass walls.
Yeah, right. So there's single game tickets going on sale, several different partial ticket plans available. What are you seeing from fans right now in terms of demand?
As I'll say this, we've sold more tickets in the days following, substantially more tickets in the days following the schedule release than we have in years past. And I think that's for a couple of reasons. One, we've got something for everybody. We've got 10-game packages that start at $150, so that's $15 a ticket. This is ensuring that everyone has access to the building and to our games to engage with the Bucks. And then we've got an incredible schedule. You obviously have the marquee matchups that I think a lot of people look to first. When are we playing Miami? When are we playing LeBron's 76ers? And then from there, we open the season on the road at Washington against the Wizards. They had the number 1 pick in the draft this year, AJ Devansky. And then we come and have our home opener on October 23rd, which is a Friday, against the Chicago Bulls, a heated rival from south of 94, who also have an incredible young rookie, Caleb Wilson, that people are really excited about as well. So we've got a fun schedule. We've got something for everyone, and we're excited to get kicked off.
So you mentioned those matchups against Miami. Obviously, plenty of interest there. You talked about when the Bucks will host Giannis and the Heat. It's January 28th, and that's going to be streaming on Prime, one of two national games for the Bucks this year, that the other one being the other time that Miami and Milwaukee will meet. As far as the ticket interest there, has it too early to maybe have a sellout, or is it kind of getting close to that one or to that point on that game?
Yeah, here's what I would say. I wouldn't wait to secure your tickets for those. It will sell out, barring any very unforeseen circumstances, and it likely will sell out very early for all of the right reasons. I mean, we're going to welcome back a player that has meant a lot to us. And, there's excitement around, I think, seeing our new look Milwaukee Bucks against any team, but that one's going to be special.
So you mentioned new look Bucks, and I think a lot of fans are going to want to know, as they invest their time and invest their energy in this new young crop of Milwaukee Bucks stars in the making, fans are going to want to still be like, all right, but what am I also getting in addition to the basketball? How are you trying to work that fan experience in different ways, given that there's a lot of unknowns? We don't know what the future holds for this crop of players, but we want to get fans involved and excited early on.
Yeah. I think that's a really, really fair question. The one thing we do know about the roster this year under Taylor Jenkins is we do know they're going to compete. And we're going to play a high level of basketball, and it's going to be an entertaining brand of basketball. We know that, and we've got some great pieces to do that. One of the interesting things when you think about Fiserv Forum, it is objectively a top 3 arena in the NBA. There's a really strong argument to say that it is the best arena in the NBA. And after 8 years, the reality is we may not appreciate it as much because we're so far removed from the Bradley Center. It's only when our friends come visit us from Chicago or from Minneapolis or Denver, people who are used to going to buildings who aren't nearly the caliber of our building, they come in and say, oh my goodness, this is amazing. And that's just the unfortunate reality when you get used to a building. So what we have to do and what we owe our fans is to reimagine what that experience looks like. We're going to take great care of our fans and our season ticket members, and we're going to entertain every consumer, every person that comes into the building. And we're spending a lot of time internally thinking about what entertainment means and how we can go about doing that. So there are a lot of things that we're leaning into this year that are going to look and feel different than in the past, because we owe it to our fans to, even though we're giving them, probably the most incredible 4 walls in the NBA and Fiserv Forum, we still have to be on the cutting edge of entertainment. We can't just rest on the fact that 8 years ago we opened the doors to an incredible arena.
And there's also 2 home games over Thanksgiving weekend. That's going to be a lot of fun. And the Bucks will be playing the Knicks at Fiserv Forum. That's amazing. December 2nd and on April 8th. And the Bucks are returning to full season over-the-air television. What do you hope this means for the team's reach?
Yeah, what we know it means is we're going to be in every single home in the state of Wisconsin. It's been 30 years since we've been able to say that. And even technically 30 years ago, while we were on over the air in southeastern Wisconsin, that may not have been the case statewide. This is our opportunity to use this year to grow our base, to engage with people who maybe have technically had access in the past, but FanDuel Sports was not actually in their home. And that's what we're going to do this year. And the reach is exciting. What we can do with that reach is exciting. There are going to be people who watch Milwaukee Bucks games this year who have not historically watched Milwaukee Bucks games. We can't take that lightly. We have to ensure that even if you're not in the building because you live in Rhineland or Wisconsin, you find it compelling, because those people sitting at home have options too, right? They've got infinite options on Netflix and infinite options on Disney Plus. We have to give them something that is entertaining enough to take their attention.
And we're seeing ratings are going to be off the charts because the Glessing family is so strong there. So
I'm not playing. I don't know. I'm not playing that. If I play, I guarantee you we can drive good ratings out of Racine for one game until we're down by 40 points in the fourth quarter.
Josh Glessing.
My mother tunes in regardless.
Oh, that's wonderful. She'll be looking for you. Just sit by Gruber, and you're going to be on there all the time.
Harsh critic. Really harsh critic.
Oh, that's how my dad is too. Gosh, he's my harshest critic. Josh Glessing is the president of the Bucks and Fiserv Forum, and our parents are keeping us in tip-top shape. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Here's your business headlines.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Milwaukee area real estate developer Scott Yauk's Cobalt Partners expands a concept for a sports complex in Brown Deer. Village officials review a proposal for hockey rinks and basketball and volleyball courts with new concepts for a cafe and retail space. The Milwaukee Bucks already announced games will run on My 24 over-the-air television in Milwaukee for the upcoming season. The team updates the list of TV affiliates, now includes stations in Madison, Green Bay, La Crosse, and Wausau. UMB Bank looks to consolidate its 2 offices in downtown Milwaukee to a prominent location, according to its market president. The Kansas City-based firm entered Milwaukee in January 2025. I'm Rich Kirchin with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
Have you ever looked in the mirror and just didn't feel like yourself anymore? Maybe your clothes don't fit the way they used to, or you don't like how you look in them. It's more than that. It's how you feel walking into a room, avoiding photos, or not feeling as confident as you used to be. Over time, that can wear on you. But here's the truth. Losing weight is one thing. Feeling confident again and keeping the weight off, that's what really matters. At Milwaukee Weight Loss, they help people lose 20 to 40 pounds naturally in about 60 days without injections, crazy workouts, or prepackaged meals. More importantly, they show you how to keep the weight off so you can feel comfortable in your clothes, confident going out, and actually like what you see in the mirror again. Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scavidi, and I started Milwaukee Weight Loss last year. I don't just feel lighter, I feel more confident. I've dropped a couple waist sizes, actually 4 inches. I've got more energy, and I just feel better about myself. It's time, right now. $200 off now through August 31st. Do not wait. Schedule your free consultation now at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Never a better time to feel better about what you look like and how you feel. Results may vary.
WTMJ's Julia Fellow here for Appliance Gallery right here in Milwaukee. It's just off of Wisconsin Avenue. They have the most up-to-date showroom in our state, featuring the highest end appliances. You can see them all different types of kitchen setups, including a Sub-Zero section, Wolf, Miele, Fisher & Paykel, and more. Go in, see it for yourself, try it. You can look, see, touch, feel the quality of these luxury products that will last. You can see if you like it. Walk in, explore the showroom, and buy directly from Appliance Gallery, or they can work seamlessly with your builder, or your remodeler, or your designer. They offer installation for panel-ready built-ins or freestanding appliances. Panel-ready is a beautiful way for your refrigerator dishwasher to integrate seamlessly with your cabinetry. Appliance Gallery has their own in-house installation crew and offer reliable service. They're so professional, they get it right the first time. Find out for yourself. Go in, check out their showroom on Wisconsin Avenue in Milwaukee, or visit ApplianceGalleryWI.com. That's ApplianceGalleryWI.com.
Clogged drains, water in the basement. Septic and sewer problems never happen at a convenient time.
When you call Harris Septic and Sewer, a real person answers your questions, finds the best solution, and schedules service.
This is Kelly with Harris Septic and Sewer. Septic and mound system problems can be stressful. From soil testing and system design to installation, maintenance, and repairs, our experienced team can handle it all. Let Hair take the worry off your shoulders.
Get started today at HERRSepticandSewer.com. Harris Septic and Sewer. Fast answers, reliable service. Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting WTMJ.com/contests.
That's WTMJ.com/contests.
Man, I love the taste of Mequon.
Yep, there's even a Port Washington State Bank.
What?
PWSB has a Mequon branch.
Burger with ranch?
No, PWSB has a Mequon branch.
I knew that.
Port Washington State Bank. We get you here. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The new All-Pro Battery by Steel. Tackle any task with 60% more peak power. Exclusively available at your local Steel dealer. 60% peak power comparison between AP300PC and AP300S. Sponsored by Accunet Mortgage.
Get your rock solid pre-approval or a no-pressure refi checkup by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Trusted, relevant, locally owned, locally programmed. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ Milwaukee.
I'm Julia Fellow. Your top story this hour. UW system has a plan for a tuition freeze.
I'm Adam Roberts. One last call for FEMA aid in Wisconsin.
I'm Debbie Lazago. We've got a bit of a heavy ride northbound on 41, starting from Capitol Drive all the way up past Appleton Avenue. It is about a 10-minute ride from the zoo all the way to Highway Q, so keep that in mind. That's an extra 10 minutes there. We've also got southbound on 41 slowing down right through from Blue Mound Road to about just south of Greenfield, back on the brakes from Oklahoma Avenue down and around the Hale interchange to Forest Home. On eastbound 94, not only do we have delays from Highway 164 to Barker Road, but we also got backups from Highway, looks like 76th Street all the way through to 35th. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Cloudy tonight, a low of 66. Tomorrow, cloudy and humid, a chance of evening showers and storms, a high of 82. It is currently mostly sunny and 77 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the universities of Wisconsin asking state lawmakers for $190 million to freeze tuition for 2 years. The proposed 4-year tuition pledge would hold tuition flat for 2 years, then limit increases to the rate of inflation the following 2 years. Here's the Board of Regents saying without the state investment, avoiding tuition increases would be nearly impossible.
We have the same inflationary pressures that every other business, every other organization in the country is under right now.
The Board of Regents is scheduled to vote on this later this week. If approved by the board, the request would still require action from state lawmakers and Wisconsin's next governor before funding could take effect.
Disaster survivors from Wisconsin's April storms and flooding have 2 weeks left to apply for federal assistance. The FEMA deadline for assistance and Small Business Administration home disaster loans coming up on August 31st. Homeowners and renters in 19 counties, including Milwaukee, Waukesha, Washington, and Kenosha, may qualify if they had uninsured damage to their primary home. Lost personal property or disaster-related emergency needs are also qualifications. You can apply for FEMA online, call the hotline, or get more information on WTMJ.com.
A Greene County cheese manufacturer has been fined more than $200,000 after pleading guilty to violating the Clean Water Act.
Federal prosecutors say Wisconsin Cheese Group released untreated wastewater from its Monticello plant into the municipal sewer system, disrupting the village's treatment facility 19 times over a 5-month period in 2022. Some releases exceeded the company's permitted pollution limits by more than 1,500%. A judge sentenced the company to 1 year of probation and ordered facility improvements. The company must also work with the Wisconsin DNR on future wastewater permits. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Wisconsin Supreme Court Justice Chris Taylor officially marking the start of her 10-year term on the state's high court. Taylor, sworn in during a ceremony last week, says protecting judicial independence and ensuring equal justice will be her priorities on the court.
We know that equal justice under the law has not come to fruition for all individuals. And our judicial system is not perfect. So we must keep working to make this promise a reality.
Taylor's term officially began August 1st after winning the seat over Judge Maria Lazar in this 2026 spring election.
President Donald Trump defending his decision to order the U.S. military to substantially reduce joint exercises with South Korea. He reiterated his criticism of South Korea declining to get involved in the war.
We can't go around and protect all of these countries, especially when they're not there to help us.
South Korea has expressed hope the alliance with the U.S., as well as diplomatic talks with North Korea, would continue.
Local businesses getting some tariff relief after the U.S. Supreme Court struck down some of President Trump's most sweeping tariffs. Tens of thousands have applied for refunds, but that doesn't mean consumers will see prices go down, tells Milwaukee Business Journal editor-in-chief Timothy Gibbons to WTMJ.
There's still so much uncertainty out there. There are new tariffs that have been put into place. Fuel prices have gone up because of the conflict with Iran. Inflation in general is bouncing all over the place. So the companies are basically taking these tariff refunds and are using that to kind of keep their powder dry for the future.
Wisconsin businesses poised to receive around $350 million in those refunds.
Coming up, high hopes for regular season return for a Packers tight end.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Times, 5:05.
Turnover. It's costly, it's frustrating, it's a silent profit killer. Vince Vitrano here for Go Trago Assessment Solutions. Go Trago helps you hire the right people the first time, reducing turnover, cutting hiring costs, and improving sales. Trago TPS predictive assessments identify top performers before they're on your payroll. Auto dealers nationwide are using Trago to operate with turnover rates more than 200% lower than the industry average. Visit GoTrago.com.
Hi, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Most contractors cut corners and disappear when there's a problem. Not us. Since 1997, we've completed over 60,000 projects, earned thousands of 5-star reviews, and were named 2025 Roofing Magazine Contractor of the Year. We set the standard for exterior remodeling, trusted by homeowners, proven every single day. We're excited to show you why choosing Infinity means peace of mind. Visit infinityexteriors.com to see why your neighbors trust Infinity.
When you run a team, you want great uniforms, and you know selling spiritware is vital. That's why Burkhart Sporting Goods will create a free custom website for you to sell your families and players the coolest spiritware from Nike and Under Armour, as well as the basics, while helping you fundraise at the same time. We take the hassle out of coordinating your team's apparel and make shopping and buying easy. So when you need awesome spiritware and uniforms for your organization, you can't beat Burkhart.
You can't beat Burkhart.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All sports desk. Packers continue preparations for preseason game number 2 Friday in Denver against the Broncos. Tucker Kraft, meanwhile, eyeing a return for week 1 of the regular season against the Minnesota Vikings as he returns to 11-on-11 work roughly 10 months after tearing the ACL in his right knee.
Now that I've gotten back to team reps, as I continue to accumulate reps, I hope I can continue to rise my game as well, take myself, to new heights rather than just return to pre-injury.
And again, the Packers continuing practice in anticipation for that second preseason game in Denver Friday night. The Brewers, meanwhile, have an off day today. They started the day with a 5-game lead over the Cubs for first place in the NL Central. That remains the case right now. The Cubs expected to go to battle later this evening against their crosstown rivals, the White Sox. The Brewers begin a 3-game series with the Seattle Mariners tomorrow night at American Family Field. Kyle Harrison expected to get the starting nod, followed by Dustin May and Robert Gasser. And in college football, it's Ohio State, Oregon, Georgia, Notre Dame, and Texas, top 5 in the AP preseason top 25 poll.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:09.
Do you have an upcoming wedding, a bridal or baby shower, maybe a family reunion? WTMJ's John Mercure here. I highly recommend having your party at the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club. Half your dinners are free. When you buy one dinner, your second dinner is free every single night, even for special events. Choice steaks, seafood, pasta. How about the surf and turf? Any entree, buy one, get one free. Desserts, my favorite part, is buy one, get one free. Celebrate a birthday, an anniversary, a retirement, or just a quiet free dinner with your sweetie. Have your company employee appreciation dinner at the Fox and Hounds. Half your dinners are free, and it's a gorgeous setting right in the heart of the Kettle Moraine near Holy Hill. Spectacular views. Gift cards are also the perfect year-round gifts, as your second dinner is always free. Order online and your gift cards will arrive shortly. I've done this many times. Reserve your wedding shower, rehearsal, or family dinner today. Half your dinners are free every night at the Fox and Hounds. Google, call, and reserve.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air. Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, Julia Fellow. And in for John McCure, it's Adam Roberts.
Adam, so glad that you're with us. I don't know why the announcer made your Adam Roberts.
And in for your Mercury.
I know. We have a lot still ahead. We have meteorologist Brian Isnansky coming up at 5:36, your top stories. Also, at 5:45, a former FBI investigative specialist and spy hunter talks about how the FBI investigates election fraud. We could talk about a new plan about allowing private companies to conduct cyber operations against criminal groups. And we go national with the Nancy Guthrie case. That's coming up. But first,
this is the 5 o'clock focus on Wisconsin's afternoon news.
And our 5 o'clock focus, Julia, is focusing local today. We're talking once again about the Milwaukee Metropolitan Sewerage District. I know, don't change your dials. There's actual developments that have happened today, earlier this morning, in fact. So I've been reporting on this story for several months now. A lot of contention as it relates to MMSD, the group that runs our wastewater treatment facilities, or rather owns all of these properties. Think Jones Island, think South Shore and Oak Creek. However, they pay a different party, an operator, to handle the employment and the actual running day-to-day of these facilities. And the current group doing this, Veolia North America, has drawn the ire of an advocacy group, Common Ground, over the last few months. They've alleged mismanagement of the wastewater facilities that I just mentioned. Veolia has adamantly denied any of their allegations, and this has been going back and forth for months. There was a legal cease and desist involved at one point. Still not clear exactly where that has ended up, by the way. Haven't gotten a lot of information from either party. However, the news today. So an ad hoc committee has been formed to offer, as part of this years-long process, to pick a new operator. So there's a 10-year contract, and that runs out in 2028. But the new vendor or the new operator is picked a couple of years beforehand. So we're in that phase right now, or at least leading up to that final selection. And a committee today recommended a new group, a Dallas-based organization called Jacobs Solutions, to replace Veolia come 2028. So this organization, as I mentioned, they're based out of Texas, and they made news a while ago for their relationship with Palantir, a software company. If you know nothing about Palantir, you should know that they helped ICE, Immigrations and Customs Enforcement, find and deport undocumented immigrants through their data collection that they do. And so there were concerns that this could be potentially carried over to MMSD, incorporated in some way there. They have, as part of their bid, Jacobs, agreed to end their partnership with Palantir. So as part of that, and among other things, that was why this committee said that they were going to recommend them instead of Veolia. Now, what do we always say about these sort of things? What about the money? We talked a lot before, Julie, about how this contract is going to be worth $700 million potentially. It's the most expensive such contract in the entire country. It's a large operation.
The one that they currently have is like 500, right?
550, I think, somewhere in that neighborhood. So this would be a pretty big jump from there from some of the estimates we were seeing. Well, according to MMSD and their info they put out to us today, the Jacobs proposal, comparing it to Veolia's, was $54 million lower over the life of the new contract. So anytime you're talking about dollars and cents saving, that's going to give you a little bit of a head over the competition. There was also a scoring system that was based on the proposals both of these sides issued a couple of years ago when all of this started. And that's important to note, too, because as we mentioned, there's been a lot of recent ire drawn over Veolia's operations. And that part of all of this, MMSD says, was not impacting what came out today. So that and the audit that is going on over Veolia is separate from this vote that happened today. Now, important to note, this is not the final step in the process. I mentioned we're coming up on that final decision, so that is expected in September. And it's important to note, as we've said before, this audit, it's unclear when that's going to end, and MMSD is pushing forward with a decision regardless of that. So the audit may not theoretically be done until October or November, but they are expected to offer a contract to one of those two in September.
So who's going to get it, the French company or the Dallas company?
Well, that's up to this commission. So they don't have to go with the recommendation. There's a little bit of back and forth over whether or not they take that recommendation at face value over the years or if they go opposite of it. And there's only two parties involved here. As far as the scoring goes, it seems to be pretty wide in favor of Jacobs. I think it was 96.8 out of 100 versus 84.9 for Veolia's proposal. So that's about a 12-point difference on the scoring scale. But the commission doesn't have to take that recommendation. They can do whatever they want, and that will come up in September.
I know you'll be staying on top of that next
Absolutely.
month. This report is sponsored by Diversified Wealth Strategies. Your life, your goals. Visit dwstrategies.com. We have your traffic and weather next.
Many people feeling close to retirement ask themselves, do I have enough?
Am I missing something?
At Diversified Wealth Strategies, we provide clarity during our complimentary, no-pressure consultation. We're independent advisors using big firm tools with a boutique-style approach.
And no crickets. We stay in touch so you're never left wondering.
At Diversified Wealth Strategies, let us show you how to capture the upside, limit the downside, and feel good inside.
Visit dwstrategies.com.
Securities and investment services offered through Mosaic Wealth Inc. Member FINRA SIPC. Mosaic Wealth is separately owned and other entities and/or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Mosaic Wealth.
Hey everybody, Debbie Lazaga here for Comfort Awnings. Using the highest quality American-made materials, their awnings are the leading shade and wind-resistant solutions for your outdoor space. Now, Comfort Awnings installed a motorized awning over my patio, and honestly, I don't know how I ever lived without it. It extends my living space. I got plenty of room for folks to come over for cookouts and all sorts of fun. And with summer here, don't wait to get your awning installed. Enjoy our beautiful Wisconsin summer, no matter the weather. Extend your motorized awning when that sun gets too hot or even when it rains. Right now, get $200 off your awning or screen. Give them a call at 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com today.
So, ladies, enjoying the charity bachelor auction so far? All right, next up, bid on a date with a true nice guy, a salesman from Soren's Ford in Brookfield.
At Soren's, we aim to please.
Woo! All right, we're going to start the bidding at $1,000 for a date with Mr. Nice Guy.
But I'm only quoted at $500.
Quiet, nice guy. Do I hear $1,200? $1,200?
$500, now wash your car for free.
What are you doing? She said $1,200.
Soren's Ford always offers the best deal possible.
Soren's Ford, 189th and Capitol in Brookfield. You won't find nicer guys or lower prices anywhere.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Tiffany. Have you listened to WTMJ Outdoors yet? Well, what are you waiting for? Every Saturday at 2 right here on 620 WTMJ. Stories of the outdoors in Wisconsin and beyond as we celebrate everything and recreation. Every week we explore the trails and waterways of Wisconsin in the great outdoors. It's a great state on a great lake. Join me every Saturday, every weekend on WTMJ Outdoors.
It's WTMJ Outdoors, presented by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
517 traffic and then weather. Debbie Lazaga, how are the roads?
Yeah, we still have some backups as you're making your way down on 41 southbound. It's kind of a hefty ride there, so you want to make sure you give yourself plenty of time to get through that whole area. Basically starting from just about Good Hope Road, heading down past Appleton Avenue. Northbound's backed up from just north of Burleigh up to Silver Spring. Westbound 94, we've got some delays as well from about 27th Street to Hawley Road, and then back on the brakes just west of Highway 100 all the way to Brookfield Road. Eastbound's tightening up right through the Barker Road area, as well as from about 70th Street all the way to 35th. We do have a crash now, 894 southbound, right at the ramp from Beloit Road. Left lane's blocked with that. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Here is your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Partly cloudy tonight, a low of 65. Tomorrow, isolated thunderstorms develop with a high of 82. Wednesday, sunny, more comfortable, a high of 75. Thursday, mostly sunny with a high of 75. And Friday, sunny and very pleasant, a high of 77. Right now here in Milwaukee, it is sunny and 77 degrees. 5:19 on WTMJ. Our Brew Crew outscored the Dodgers 16-10 the series this weekend. They now have a 3-game lead over the Dodgers for the best record in baseball, 5 games ahead of the Cubs, and there were plenty of moments that got them there.
Mizorowski ready to work, kicks and deals, struck him out swinging, dropped a slider on Ohtani, and he swung through it. 2 away for Freddie Freeman, bases remain low. Struck him out swinging. Dropped another slider on him, and Mizorowski pumps a fist as he strikes out Ohtani, then Freeman. A swing and a fly ball hit to left. It's deep. Back Hernandez at the warning track. Leaping. It's gone! And here's a fly ball to left and deep. Hernandez back at the track. Gone! 3-1. Swing and a miss. Threw him a cut fastball at 98. Now that was a nasty cut. Final of the first inning, and Logan Henderson makes his first start at Dodger Stadium. Henderson from the first base side of the rubber kicks, delivers, and a swing and a miss. Oh, what a nasty changeup. Down and away from Henderson, and Ohtani just casting his bat. Hopeless, the 1-0 to Bowers. And a liner into left center field. That's going to plug the gap and roll all the way to the wall. Churio around second. He's not stopping at third. Matt Erickson gives him the windmill. Jake Bowers, 4 for 4 to 2. Chopper towards second base. Edman kicks it, and it's into right field. 2 runs will score. 6-2 victory against the Dodgers. And the Brewers come to L.A. and take 3 of 4. Great series win for Milwaukee. And they can head back home, rest up, and get themselves ready for the Seattle Mariners on Tuesday.
Huge thanks to our Wisconsin's Afternoon News superstar 105, Nate Rilling, for putting that together. It is 5:21 on WTMJ.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. When it's time for a new vehicle, I know where I'm going. Griffin Ford in Waukesha. It's where I always go. It's where I buy my cars. Bought my Ford Explorer. If you've been thinking about a new SUV or truck, now's the time to stop in. Griffin Ford has an incredible selection. 60 2026 Ford Explorers in stock, starting at just $37,790. Need a truck? They've got more than 50 new 2026 Ford F-150 4x4s in stock. Yeah, starting at only $44,775. And here's the best part. With most new vehicle purchases, you'll receive a 2-year, 25,000-mile premium maintenance plan, giving you even more value and peace of mind. With one of the largest Ford inventories in Wisconsin, you don't have to settle. You can find the color, features, and model that's right for you. Stop by Griffin Ford in Waukesha, where I buy my cars, or visit griffinford.com today. Offers end August 31st. See dealer for complete details. It's Griffin Ford.
Have you seen videos of Russian floating folk dancers?
Floating Russian whoosy-whatsits?
They wear long dresses so you can't see their feet, so it looks like they're gliding on air.
I've seen those videos. Impressive. That reminds me of the dining chairs with the Brody table.
The Brody table is my favorite table at Penny Mustard.
You know, the unique design kind of resembles one of those Russian dancers.
You're right.
And check out these upholstered caster dining chairs.
I don't see any casters.
Precisely. It looks like the chair is gliding on air. Here, I'll show you. I can glide over here.
Ooh, nice.
And I can glide over there. Be careful. And I can...
Watch out!
I never was a very good dancer.
The Brody table, paired with 4 caster dining chairs, starting at $64.22 at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
Better versions of what people want.
Penny Mustard Furnishing.
Hey, it's WTMJ Steve Scafidi.
And Kristen Bry of Point Taken.
What's more important than having a special needs child turning 18 who needs guardianship?
Or helping aging parents plan for long-term care.
Thankfully, the attorneys at Walney Legal Group can help with both.
No intimidating lawyers, Walney Legal provides a customized, friendly experience to help make these processes as straightforward and streamlined as possible.
So whether you're planning for aging parents
or establishing a strong legal foundation for a special needs child, visit WALNYlegal.com.
Hi, I'm Matt Dorner, CEO of Milwaukee Downtown Bid 21. Downtown Employee Appreciation Week is back August 17th through the 21st, with daily giveaways, office challenge games, and much more. It's all designed to boost your team's spirits. Learn how your company can participate at MilwaukeeDowntown.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
524 on Wisconsin's afternoon news. We're continuing to get new information after a chaotic end to the Wisconsin State Fair. Fights breaking out near the Spin City area where the amusement rides are. A lot of fists were flying. You had one police officer struck in the head. And I mentioned we do have new information within the last hour and a half or so from Wisconsin State Fair Police. They do confirm to us there were no injuries to any fairgoers. Now, we did see, Julia, in a lot of these videos that have circulated on social media, fists flying, and there were people at points on the ground.
Yeah,
people
that was
were just
insane.
getting beat up. So it's a little eyebrow-raising that there were no injuries to anyone at the fair. 7 people arrested, that according to State Fair Police. Unknown what the age ranges are of those arrests. We do not know still from this information 100% how all of this started. It appears as though there were some people who were trying to get into the area, maybe who were not already admitted inside, so they hadn't scanned their tickets and come in and were trying to get in from the surrounding area on the streets perhaps, but it's unclear what then precipitated any of this fighting, because this isn't just a couple of people maybe having a beef and settling it between themselves. This is dozens and dozens of people running all over the place, and by now you've likely seen the footage of this. And I was wondering when and if this was going to happen as well. It's already turned political. It didn't even take 24 hours for this already to get used as a talking point in the Wisconsin gubernatorial race. You have Congressman Tom Tiffany going after Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley over the melee, posting on X earlier this morning. with a video attached. This is Milwaukee County under David Crowley, crime, chaos, and at least one officer punched. Now, in the interest of transparency, State Fair and the grounds and the security within is not under David Crowley's umbrella necessarily as county executive. State statute dictates the park board is charged with managing the park and has police supervision within. There is a State Fair police department that handles situations like this.
So it kind of foreshadows what's going to happen. Anything bad that happens in Milwaukee County, David Crowley will have to answer to it.
Regardless of whether or not it's under his direct jurisdiction. I think about when we had the healthcare contract lapse earlier this year, and that was used against Crowley to a varying degree by even some people within the Democratic primary for governor. That I could see being maybe more a little bit under, that was an HR employee who Crowley would have maybe a little bit more direct contact with. This just not so much.
And maybe Crowley will say anything happening in Washington, D.C. will be Tiffany's problem.
Potentially. I was curious to get Crowley's comments on what unfolded, and in particular the response. I thought he was going to be at the Downtown Worker Appreciation Day kickoff or week kickoff that was at Red Arrow Park, but he was not in attendance for that today. Just Mayor Johnson.
Interesting. Glad you tried to track him down, though. Time for news about your money, your WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything pretty much flat on the day. The Dow was down 0.5%, down 272, ending at 53,459. S&P 500 down 40, ending at 7,745. NASDAQ down 84, ending at 26,644. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
Welcome to The Knowledge Brokers, a weekly feature covering the dynamics of the insurance market and how it affects Wisconsin businesses and residents. It's sponsored by the original Knowledge Broker, R&R Insurance. And joining me today, Jeff Salazinski, Executive Vice President of Insurance Operations. Jeff, I want to talk about employee benefits today. R&R Insurance provides those benefits for all of us here at Good Karma Brands. Very happy with the program. So when it comes to benefits, what are some of the real challenges that employers are facing today?
Thanks, Vince. Great to be here. The buying environment has not been easy for employers, really driven by cost increases and rapid innovation in today's specialty drugs and medical treatments. The explosion of GLP-1 drugs and their usage is impacting plan financials. Specialized gene therapies are revolutionizing medicine, but also sending shockwaves through the health plan economics and risk management frameworks.
Jeff, managing these employee health plans, that takes time and expertise to do well. So how is R&R supporting its clients and keeping them informed on all these issues?
We have an elite team of analytics resources that blend their years of experience with technology and innovation when designing plans for our clients. We use strategy and our expert resources to help you control costs and maximize the value of your employee benefits plan. Plus, we provide local management and service and support all over the state.
What else can R&R Insurance provide that sets you apart?
We help employers brand their benefit package in a customized, easy-to-understand fashion, taking out the complex and confusing nature of shopping for health insurance. More importantly, we'll manage and provide as much support as you need for open enrollment and beyond. With our latest mobile technology, your employees will have easy, immediate access to benefits information for themselves and their families 24/7.
That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks for the great info, Jeff.
Save now during the Ken Michaels Furniture Labor Day sale. Ken Michaels Furniture, where you can enjoy unprecedented saving on better quality furniture and mattresses during their factory-sponsored Labor Day sale. Stop in today and save.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It is 5:30. I'm Julia Fellow. Your top story this half hour: fights and arrests are close out of Wisconsin Fair.
I'm Adam Roberts. Fewer and fewer kids receiving vaccinations.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. We have a crash on the ramp from St. Paul Avenue to westbound 94. Watch out for that. And then the right shoulder is blocked with an incident just past that, right near 35th. We've also got southbound on 94, right at the ramp from 794 westbound. The right shoulder is blocked with an incident there. We are seeing delays through the Marquette as well, technically starting from about Keefe all the way down through the Marquette to the KK River crossing. Northbound's backed up from Kilbourne up to North Avenue. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Cloudy tonight, a low of 66. Tomorrow, humid. Evening showers and storms possible, a high of 82. Right now, Milwaukee, it's 77 degrees and sunny. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the Wisconsin State Fair concludes with fights and arrests near the rides.
7 people were arrested on Sunday night after multiple fights broke out in the Spin City area. Video on social media showing police officers chase after people as they tried to clear the area. Wisconsin State Fair Park confirms one officer was struck but was not seriously hurt. They also confirmed there were no gunshots fired, contrary to rumors circulating on social media. No fairgoers were hurt, and the fights were isolated to the final hours of the fair on Sunday. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
New details today on a hostage situation and police shooting that unfolded at a Meijer store in Waukesha last month.
Now identify the suspect as 21-year-old Anthony Lehman, who they say held the 59-year-old man hostage while armed with a knife and a clamp tool fitted with 2 razor blades. Police say the victim was trying to defend himself and others when an officer fired at Lehman because of the immediate threat. One round unintentionally struck the victim's hand. The injury is not life-threatening, and the victim has been released from the hospital. Lehman is expected to face several charges this week, including reckless injury, false imprisonment, and terrorist threats. Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
One person was dead, another seriously hurt after a head-on crash in Mount Pleasant. It happened yesterday afternoon on Spring Street near Borgart Road, where police say a Ford F-150 crossed into incoming traffic and collided head-on with a Jeep. Both drivers were trapped in their vehicle. The driver of the Jeep was freed by onlookers and taken to the hospital, having serious injuries. The driver of the Ford F-150 died at the scene.
Decision Wisconsin. It's the first look at the race for governor and showing a close contest between David Crowley and Tom Tiffany.
A new Badger Battleground poll gives Crowley a 4-point advantage with 48% support compared to 44% for Tiffany. 500 likely general election voters were surveyed through phone call interviews. The poll comes just days after Crowley won a razor-thin Democratic primary and Tiffany secured the Republican nomination. In last week's primary, Wisconsin Democrats cast nearly 800,000 ballots, their highest total for a midterm in more than 20 years. The two candidates are now campaigning ahead of the November 3rd general election. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
New government data shows vaccination rates keep going down.
Vaccination rates among kids continue to decline in the U.S. The latest CDC numbers show that 92.4% of kindergartners in the latest school year were vaccinated against measles. It's a drop of 2.5 percentage points since pre-pandemic and leaves over 280,000 kids without protection against the virus amid record-breaking infections. The rate of kids with a vaccine exemption hitting a record high at 4.2%. Yuri Benajad, ABC News, New York.
Concerns are growing for sailors' mental health as the USS Abraham Lincoln remains deployed without a port call for more than 260 days. Carrie Bell from Beloit knows what it's like to spend months on an aircraft carrier as the onboard mental health therapist, telling Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News.
We call it Groundhog's Day. It's like every day is like the one before, and believe it or not, the time goes by incredibly fast. I call it the time machine. Like you step on board and then deployment's over. But back here, life is happening. And so it's almost like you walk off the ship and you look around and holy cow, my whole life has changed while I'm gone, and nothing changed for me.
Bell says the greatest stressor for sailors is worrying about their families back home.
Consumer experts warning about a scam of unclaimed life insurance money. Michelle Reinen with Death Cap says fake letters in the mail may appear to come from law firms or an attorney that you may not know. She tells WTMJ.
The letter goes on to explain that they want to split the proceeds between the consumer, some charity organizations, and their law firm. The insurance policy does not really exist, and it might sound very convincing with the firm supposedly trying to contact family members and finding those close relatives to inherit the fortune.
Signs that the letter is fake include minor typos and a law firm name that cannot be verified.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. The Packers continue preparations for preseason game number 2 later this week in Denver. One of the areas of focus in practice this week, tackling. Packers head coach Matt LaFleur says it's a wide open competition at cornerback.
Obviously, it starts with doing your right assignment, and then it comes down to your style of play. How are you competing, going after the ball, not only in the pass game, but in the run game as well? Are you sticking your nose in there? And we need corners that are willing and capable tacklers.
The preseason continues Friday night in Denver, and after taking 3 of 4 against the Dodgers in Los Angeles, the Brewers A well-deserved off day today as they head back home to Milwaukee. A 6-game homestand kicks off tomorrow night at American Family Field against the Seattle Mariners. 3 games against the M's, followed by 3 against the Atlanta Braves, though the final game of the homestand will be played in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, as part of the MLB Little League Classic in conjunction with the Little League World Series.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:36. Meteorologist Brian Isnansky with TMJ4 News. Chief Meteorologist is next.
Accident Mortgages and Equal Housing Lender, NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wicker, Chief Homebuyer Helper with Wisconsin's own Accident Mortgage. Nicer homes are still getting multiple offers over asking, and there's only one winner per listing. I want to help you be that winner, which is why I just increased the rock-solid pre-approval guarantee to $10,000. It's all about getting the seller to pick your offer over the others. So AccuNet is now guaranteeing in writing to pay the seller 10,000 American bucks if we can't make good on the terms of your fully verified rock-solid pre-approval. Banks don't do that. We're willing to stand behind our work and stand behind you with a $10,000 guarantee that sellers will definitely notice. Maybe you've been writing offers and losing, which feels terrible, or maybe you're just starting out. Either way, don't settle for a flimsy bank pre-approval and let someone else end up sleeping in your dream home. Give the seller 10,000 reasons to say yes to your offer with AccuNet's new $10,000 rock-solid seller guarantee. Get started with yours today at accunet.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
He is Chief Meteorologist Brian Isnansky with TMJ4 News. Brian, I like the jacket that you're wearing. It's very summery.
Ooh, thanks. Yeah, it's a little salmon blazer going on today. I think that's what the color would be. I'm not sure.
And a purple tie, right?
Yeah, a little floral tie action going on. Yeah, summer-like. It's still summer. Hey, but it's nice to get a little relief from that humidity, right?
Oh my goodness.
Absolutely. Yeah,
It was muggy.
was telling Julia earlier, Niz, I was out for the kickoff to Downtown Workers Appreciation Week at Red Arrow Park. Yes, appreciate us downtown workers. We work so hard. And I want to know, is this going to be just a one-day thing? Is the humidity really only going to be gone for one day before it comes back tomorrow?
It does come back tomorrow, but the good news after tomorrow is it looks like it goes back down. So tomorrow we spike back up, and then a cold front passes through, and we get back to more tolerable conditions Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday and Thursday look like fantastic days. So with that added humidity, tomorrow we will have our next chance for showers and storms. Not a guarantee, but a decent chance for some scattered showers and a few thunderstorms rolling through the area tomorrow afternoon into early tomorrow evening.
Is that a lot of rain tomorrow?
It doesn't look like it looks like a pretty quick moving, broken line of storms. Now, if you do land under one of the heavier downpours, maybe you get over a half inch of rain. So it doesn't look like a ton of rain, but could be a decent little shot of rain.
How many times have you gotten out on your boat this summer?
Oh gosh, I don't know. Not enough. I mean, with all the costs and everything, you gotta get out there and use it. It's been we got out really quickly this last weekend. Saturday night, and it was too quick. It was still a little bit wavy. We had a small craft advisory, so like my boat can handle it, but it was still pretty choppy. And let's just say that the ladies on the boat my wife and daughters were not too happy with the waves, so we made it a pretty short trip.
So, Niz, I know we don't often look in the rearview mirror when it comes to the forecast, but we are now on the back end of Wisconsin State Fair, the 11-day run of the fair, and I wanted you to give us your grade for the weather during the run this year. I know last year we had, of course, the historic flooding that was the bookmark on the end of things, but this year it felt like, at least, and we were out there pretty much every single day of the fair here at WTMJ, felt great overall.
Yeah, I would say let's go, just because last week was so darn humid, and this weekend too, there was some comfort issues. But as far as like how the rain cooperated, I mean, I don't think there was one day that was like a complete washout. So let's go B minus, I guess, just because of the humidity and a couple smaller rounds of rain.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think overall was pretty good. Would you guys agree with that?
I agree. It was just very little sprinkles. Like one person freaked out, but everybody else was like, whatever. Then it was really cloudy a lot of the day, and then once my show started, the sun would break out.
Sure.
Midday.
What are you implying, Julia?
It was
She brings the sunshine.
It was
Yeah.
all me.
No, I mean honestly, like, you know how it is out at State Fair. I think the clouds would probably be welcome on most days when it's 80 and super humid. I mean, I'll take cloud cover any day during the middle of summer, as long as it doesn't mean a big downpour that goes with it.
All right, Brian, take us home with your 5-day.
Okay, so for tonight, again, we're looking at partly cloudy skies, a low of 66. Tomorrow, humidity goes back up to 82 degrees. Chance of showers and storms, especially in the afternoon. Now, as we head into Wednesday, mostly sunny, 80 degrees. Thursday, mostly sunny, 82. And then Friday, a slight chance of showers and storms and a high of 83 degrees.
He is Chief Meteorologist Brian Isnansky with TMJ4 News. Are you on at 6?
Yep, I'll be back on at 6 o'clock tonight and 10 o'clock tonight.
All right, watch him on Channel 4. We'll be watching, Brian. Thank you.
All right, thanks, guys. See ya.
Your Storm Team forecast is brought to you by Infinity Exteriors, your local experts for roofing, siding, and window projects.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
If you're in charge of uniforms and equipment, you want to get the most value for your team's budget. You want the most for your money, and you want the process to be easy. Because you already have enough on your plate. We get it. Burkhart Sporting Goods Team Outfitting Division is the best you'll find. With an abnormally high customer satisfaction rate and our own silk screening and embroidery facility for quality control. So if you want the highest quality team outfitting and incredible service, you can't beat Burkhart.
WTMJ's Julia Fellow here for St. Charles Youth and Family Services. They are looking for people like you to become foster parents. It's through their treatment foster care program. You'll get training, guidance, and ongoing support every step of the way. Here's someone who works at St. Charles, and she shares the passion behind her work to advocate and support you if you become a foster parent.
Foster parents will call me up and I'll be on the phone for an hour, less, more. That don't matter to me. It matters to me that I'm listening and I'm there for them. What the child's doing, what's happening.
And understand.
Yes.
And have the right advice.
Right.
And I spoke to another foster parent who has been doing this for decades.
I've gotten a lot out of it. I've gotten a lot of love out of it. The boys that's with me now, they're brothers. They've been with us 7 years. And then I've had just a lot of individual kids, and I love them all.
I met his 2 boys. They're amazing. You can learn more about becoming a foster parent today at stcharlesinc.org. That's stcharlesinc.org, stcharlesinc.org.
Are you looking for a welcoming place to unwind? Vince Vitrano here. Our family found a home at Racine Country Club. Premier golf on the historic championship course, rolling terrain, famously fast greens, tight fairways, and scenic Root River views. Work your game year-round with indoor simulators, hitting bays, top-notch practice facilities, and leagues for every level. Plus, at Racine Country Club, you enjoy elevated dining, swimming, and a full calendar of family-friendly events. Join me on the course at Racine Country Club, racinecountryclub.com.
Welcome back to Ask Hassles.
Are your employee-free Hassles showrooms some kind of big viral prank?
We simply let you try our selection of Beauty Rest, Sealy Posturepedic, and more without commission-crazy salespeople breathing down your neck.
Sure you do.
And through Monday, get a free adjustable base with the purchase of a select Sealy Posturepedic or Beauty Rest mattress, plus free next-day delivery.
So shopping at Hassles won't make me TikTok famous?
Absolutely not.
Darn.
Find an employee-free showroom near you at hassles.com.
5:44 on WTMJ. Let's get one more look at your afternoon drive before 6 o'clock. Debbie Lazaga, how's it shaking?
We've got a crash, 894 southbound, right at the ramp from Beloit Road. Left lane is blocked with that, so it's pretty solid coming in from Greenfield Avenue. Also a crash on the ramp from St. Paul Avenue to westbound 94, so watch out for that. Also, the right shoulder is blocked on 4394 southbound, technically right at the ramp from 794 westbound, all because of an incident is what they're calling it. So just be careful with that. Southbound 43, by the way, backing up from Keefe down through the Marquette. You're back on the brakes basically from National Avenue down towards Lincoln. Westbound 94 continues kind of heavy past that accident scene to about Hawley Road, and then again from Sunny Slope to Moreland. Eastbound's backed up from about 76th Street to 35th. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
We have with us once a month a friend of the show, Eric O'Neill. He's a former FBI investigative specialist, a cybersecurity expert, spy hunter, and best-selling author of Spies, Lies, and Cybercrime. You can get that anywhere books are sold. Eric, thank you for joining us.
Julia, it's always good to be here.
Yes. I want to ask you about how the FBI is investigating possible election fraud in Milwaukee. They interviewed some Milwaukee police officers. So when the FBI investigates allegations of election fraud, when they interview the police officers, are they just trying to glean information that they may have collected on the first days of the investigation?
Yeah, well, so it's most likely the FBI is looking into fraud, right? Well, election fraud. And so they'd be talking to the police officers to see what they might have known and looking deeper into some of the officials, around the election. So we don't really know what the FBI is doing here. And there have been many criticisms of the FBI that this isn't appropriate and that this is a state issue. But the FBI and the Justice Department in general does get to look into election fraud.
Does it raise your eyebrows at all, Eric, that we're talking about an election that happened 6 years ago? Where does it, in your eyes, given your experience, indicate where things could potentially be in terms of an investigation timeline?
Yeah, I'm not sure what the use of looking into an election that happened 6 years ago in 2020 is. It's not like that election will be reversed. Sometimes it's about holding people accountable. The problem is we don't know what the FBI is doing, whether they have hard evidence that some fraud was committed or whether it's a fishing expedition. And so depending on what side you're on, you can be, thumbs up for it or completely against it.
All right, let's now move to a new plan to allow private companies to conduct cyber operations against criminal groups. So that allows them to do that. From the FBI's perspective, though, from your background, what does that actually mean? What role would the Bureau play when private companies are essentially fighting back against cyber criminals?
Yeah, this is pretty fascinating and unprecedented. So the policy has always been to not allow private companies to go after criminal gangs or, with cyber attacks because it can cause chaos. So in order for this to happen correctly, the Justice Department, the Department of Homeland Security, and I suspect CISA will have to work carefully to make sure that it's controlled and then they're not stepping on each other's toes. Because here's what could happen. You have a cybersecurity company, and cybersecurity companies are excellent at threat assessments. That's why I think this is happening. They know where the bad guys are. They're trying to defend their clients from these bad guys, and now we're going to unleash them to go out and take down the servers of criminal gangs. The problem is that often the servers can be compromised by, like, say, Russia in Germany. And now you have a company that goes and takes down a server that might be part of critical infrastructure in Germany, and the Germans get very mad at the U.S.
Oh.
So we have to be pretty careful about how they're doing it, and it has to be very well coordinated. Now, I will tell you, it's not the worst idea in the world. These are the sort of things where the proof will be in how it plays out. We do know that Russia and China, Iran, North Korea, some of the biggest threat actors in cyberspace, have used their criminal gangs to attack us routinely. They work with the intelligence services, and they launch attacks mercilessly against the U.S. and the West. So here, this looks like playing a little bit in that game where we're going to allow our private organizations who are very good at finding the bad guys to help shut them down.
Do you wonder of any conflict of interest, too? Anytime you're talking about the hiring of a private company, there's a chance that maybe there was some behind-the-door deal in a past time, whether it was 5, 10, 20 years ago, that also has to be considered as well, no?
Yeah, there could certainly be conflicts of interest. This has to be regulated very closely, and it has to be, the most important part is it has to be coordinated incredibly carefully. Because you don't want, for example, a private company to go in and take down a server, right, on the dark web that the NSA, for example, has been looking at to try to take down a broader criminal gang. So we need to be very careful in what private companies are allowed to do here and the coordination between government and private.
We have Eric O'Neill on the talk and text line. He is a former FBI investigative specialist, cybersecurity expert, and best-selling author of Spies, Lies, and Cybercrime. So there's new information that just came out with the Nancy Guthrie case, and it may be related, maybe not. There was a body found a few miles from where she was last seen alive. And then over the weekend, Todd Blanche says the FBI is going to provide assistance. What does that mean behind the scenes? What does that actually mean when the FBI agents, what are they doing right now that the public may not see?
Well, right. What Blanche said was that the FBI was not going to take over the case, that they were going to allow it to continue to be handled by local law enforcement, but that they would assist in any way that local law enforcement needed. What it really means is that the case is starting to go very cold. If this is indeed Nancy Guthrie's body, and we don't know that yet, then the case definitely is cold. But it seemed to me that and very sadly, what happened in this case was it was a botched kidnapping. I suspect she died as they tried to kidnap her. She was frail and with a weak heart, and they were savvy enough to hide the body and not reach out to try to get a ransom because they could not provide a sign of life. And the more they communicate, the better chance law enforcement has to catch them.
I wanted to ask you, Eric, about morale behind the scenes, too, for the FBI agents involved with this, because as this case stretches longer and longer, and I know we have cases that can sometimes run cold for years and then new information comes to light, but you still want to get the bad guys in this case. And so I wonder how the morale is of the agents who are on this case that has now stretched to the 7th month.
Oh, certainly. I can remember cases that I worked on for more than 2 years where it turned out that the person we were after was a complete waste of time. And that can really hurt morale. FBI wants to catch their man or woman, right? They want to close the cases, not leave them open and be indeterminable. And here, it looks like the bad guys may have gotten away with it. What I think the FBI is hoping is that eventually somebody, feels that a great wrong has been done and turns one of these people in. And criminals, there is no honor among thieves, and it's certainly possible that someone might snitch, and then we learn who the kidnappers were.
He is a former FBI investigative specialist, cybersecurity expert, spy hunter, and best-selling author. Find it, Spies, Lies, and Cybercrime. Eric O'Neill, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Julia, and thank you, Adam.
Of course. It's 5:53 on WTMJ. I wanted to bring this up, all Wisconsin's afternoon news. A big deal. I think it's a big deal. It always is a big deal. When someone is involved in a gubernatorial debate, it takes a lot of work, a lot of energy, and you have to be very, very talented to do so. And Adam Roberts is going to be part of the gubernatorial debate with WBA coming up October 9th. Tell me what your role is.
So thank you, Julia. I do appreciate it. And yes, we are in the midst right now, myself and a team of several other journalists from all across the state of Wisconsin in preparation for this WBA Foundation debate happening on the 9th. It's going to be hosted here in Milwaukee. It's going to be a busy week of debates. I think there's another one that same week as well. It's on the gubernatorial side. The invitations have been sent out. And so my role in all of this is there's going to be a panel of 5 journalists on the question team. You may know Kim Murphy, Fox 6 Wake Up anchor here in Milwaukee, Aisha Morales from WBAY in Green Bay, Ellie La Liberté from our partners at Channel 3 in Madison, Kim Leadom from WEAU in Eau Claire, and Steve Resnick of Sunrise Broadcasting on the radio side of things up in Merrill, Wisconsin. So my role in helping our debate questioners is to help craft those questions. So if you hear someone ask, and we don't know 100% what the topics are going to be yet because news is fluid and things can change, and even as soon as a few days before, we may have something breaking happen that involves the candidates and want to come up with something. But in all likelihood, a lot of the questions that'll be posed in this hour-long debate will be in part crafted by myself, as well as other members of our data team who are helping build these questions. And then during the interview, we'll provide context and resources as the candidates answer. So hypothetically, if David Crowley chooses to participate in the debate and we ask a question, again, this is all hypothetical, but it's in all likelihood data centers will be something that comes up in the debate. You ask a question about data centers, the candidate responds, and then my role in real time will be to listen to the response and say, okay, here's what we looked up and researched in asking this question. They're answering it now. And then also saying, okay, but maybe a couple of years ago, this candidate said something a little bit different than how they're responding now. So providing that full frame of context for people who are watching or listening, because it'll be made available on radio and TV throughout the state. So you have as much information as you can in real time. Because we've all sat and watched debates and wondered, man, is what they're saying actually true? I want to know right now. Well, that's going to be part of my job, along with Catherine Merrick from CBS 58 and Devin Willems from WFRV Channel 5 in Green Bay.
That's super cool. We'll be talking more about this in the coming weeks. It's happening October 9th. We'll be talking more about that. Adam Roberts, that's awesome. Here's your business headlines.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Milwaukee area real estate developer Scott Yauch's Cobalt Partners expands a concept for a sports complex in Brown Deer. Village officials review a proposal for hockey rinks and basketball and volleyball courts.